the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
Everybody's getting their government names.
I won't call you. I won't call your last name in public, but Gifford. I'm tired of this shit.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast. And as you can hear, guys, for some rhyme or reason, it seems like my panel is ganging up on me. They think I don't care about them. That is incredible. That is preposterous. That is preposterous, man.
Well, you lie to us all the time, bot.
Oh wow, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. I love you guys, man. You guys are like family to me, yo.
I'm still waiting to get paid.
No,
family.
We never discussed any of that when you got on the show, man. I didn't know.
I'm not getting paid. I'm out.
I didn't know your expectations, bro. I can pay in fruit stripe gum. You guys remember that commercial?
Hell, I haven't even got that.
Oh,
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, K-Mega's been here longer than anybody.
Still around,
right.
actually.
I hope so.
Can at least, Hubba Bubba. I mean, that's a better gum. Damn.
Yo, what's going on, chat? Yo, it's really good to see everybody. My homie Swaz is in the chat, and for people who don't know, he's somebody that has actually hung out with me. Me, him, and our friend Migo used to get drunk and play FIFA. Absolutely hilarious. What is up, Swaz? Great to see you. Great to see everybody. Cerebral Paul is in the chat. What is up, bro? Oh, my goodness. Crispy Bomb is not only in the chat, but he is here with us as usual. Guys, we have an incredible show lined up for you tonight. We're going to get in on some things that I've been seeing. When it comes to the gaming media, guys, what is going on with the gaming media? Certain articles like about Forza possibly going to PlayStation,
yeah, man, it's getting crazy out there.
Yo, I hate to do this, guys, but we gotta talk. We gotta talk about Meta Who as well, because there's multi-plat games that are coming out that for some rhyme or reason, the Xbox Series X version seems to get that low number in comparison to other platforms. It's going to be a crazy show. Guys, you might as well hit the thumbs up button right now. Share this out on social media. Let the gamers know. We are going in tonight. Well, we are going to be talking about xCloud. Yo, shout out to K-Mega for that article that he put in the DM, because I was reading that, and just to see what Xbox is doing with xCloud, and how they're upgrading it and kind of what they're putting into it, man. It's gonna be an awesome show. But we got to get into the intro. So I'm gonna start with the man I just talked about real quick. Coming live from the 405. He has been here from the beginning, and he still hasn't gotten paid yet. K-Mega, what is going on, bro?
Man, I'm telling you, I don't know, man. I think blackmail is in order. I think I know so many. I got so many receipts. Know all the tea. I think now it's time for me to get on this slanderous, bot hate and start making some hate videos. Me and Xbot can't stand each other. We've been doing this for a long time. I'm due.
You brought him with that top 10, bro. I'm just saying.
Hold on, and that was what I was gonna say. Did you see the video? Did you see the top 10?
No, I didn't. But from what I heard from the party we were in yesterday, you already got me highly upset with you, man. Like brother to brother. I'm like, yo, how can these games be excluded? I'm not gonna say right now what games. I'm gonna go and watch that video, and now I'm gonna blow it up on social media. I'm gonna let everybody know how I feel about your top 10, sir.
That's fine.
Pretty
That's
soon
fine.
here,
So
K Mega, you might just want to
yeah.
go with Black Love, man. You just
Black
might wanna
love.
go
I mean,
with
I'm saying,
Black
I
Love,
mean,
man.
you black love. But anyway, but this is the thing, right? All right. So I hope you guys go check out that video. I dropped it. It's about 15 minutes long. I've been working on it because I was working on so much gameplay for it. And I was like, okay, I just need 10. It's not going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I had like 35, 36 different games of gameplay that I was over here picking so I could try to show, and I was just like, hot damn, because there was so many games, but I had to narrow it down to my top 10 console games of all time. And look, just go check it out. It's on my channel, KMega45, and let me know what you think. Give me your 10 as well, and because I know it's going to be very unorthodox, especially from what some people may think, like Bot and others. But yeah, it's my top 10, so it's all good. But yeah, good to be here as usual.
You are a moderator here, so if you can grab that link, you could just put it in the chat, so this way people can, check it out at their leisure. Of course, not while we're live, but it'll be there for them. They can open up a tab and just put it on pause and wait for the end of the show, and then go right to your top 10 and check it out there. So you can just put the link in the chat, bro.
I mean, at this point, they're better off just watching his video.
Oh, how can you say that when you're on this show right now, Dark? You are putting yourself down.
Disrespectful.
Hey, I'm trying to help you out, Mega.
I see. Yeah. No. Go check it out after the show. It'll be great.
Well, now we're gonna introduce.
Y'all don't hear no crazy stuff in the background, do you?
Huh?
No.
Yeah, okay. Because
just your mouth.
My homegirl, my wife's homegirls here, and then they're watching Sex in the City, and they're all
got going on.
Oh,
hush your mouth, Fred.
Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they going crazy in there in the front room.
Anyway, next on the list, you heard him, guys. He is coming from the West Coast, and he seems to be the biggest K Mega butt kisser lately. Of course. It is Dark Optimus. What is going on?
Golly. Wow.
He likes that intro.
How are you going to spin this?
He likes that intro.
Into these topics.
Oh, he's fading in and out.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. He loves it so much.
I'm gonna.
Uh-oh.
You are botting, sir.
West Coast is not the best coast as far as internet.
No, I don't know.
Am I botting? Like crazy?
Hold on. We got sound
oh.
effects going on here. Dark, I did hear you. Say something again.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Good now?
Look, it's Dark. Dark.
And we lost him again.
Dark.
Game over.
Yeah, dude. I don't. Let me back out and come back in.
All right, you do that. I'll be listening for the doorbell if I have to.
I'll come back inside you.
Wow. You guys are just you're lining
Only
up.
on OnlyFans.
You guys are lining up the intros. Next on the list, coming in from the Lone Star State, and this man got fairly pissed off at me because I didn't get into Sea of Thieves last night. Predator, what is going on, bro?
I'm really disappointed because I haven't gamed in like a month, and I finally jump on, thinking we're gonna play some Sea of Thieves, and you're playing fucking Destiny.
With who? With my son. With my son.
Your son could have played Sea of Thieves with us. That raid ain't going nowhere. It's been there for 3 years.
Not wrong.
And then fucking Dark Optimus, he's been calling me daddy all this time, and he didn't send me no Father's Day kid.
Wow.
No comment on that one. He bought again. Well,
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Wow. Oh, here we go, guys.
God damn it, motherfucker, dude.
Oh shit! I don't even know what to say right now. He's still botting, so he can't really respond back. Just say thanks, Daddy.
Thanks, Daddy.
There you go. We heard that perfectly, 100%. Like it came in clearer than anything else you said, bro.
I don't know what the fuck's going on, dude. I fucking hate fucking California.
Here he is. Well, just move over to Connecticut. That's all you gotta do, bro.
Dude, I ain't moving that fucking trash ass fucking state.
I'm sorry. Let's pick a state you might feel a little more comfortable in. Either Jersey or Rhode Island. You can move one of those two places, and you'll still be close. You'll still be over here.
He disappeared.
Oh man.
Well, guys, next on the list, talking about Connecticut, he is my gaming brother that lives in the same state I do. He's about an hour away, and yes, for some rhyme or reason, we still haven't hung out, but he brings you the hashtag Crispy Truth. Crispy Bomb, what is up, brother?
Man, this trash ass state got the best internet in the world, apparently. Huh, Dark? What's going on here?
You tell him, bro.
Man, I got that fiber optic.
I don't know. You were botting to me.
No. Let's be serious for a second. I was botting on your end because your internet sucks balls. I don't know why. I mean, California is just this gigantic. It's like a country inside of the United States, and for the love of God, you can't get internet for the life of you. I don't understand it, but I still love you. And let's do it, dude. Oh, he dropped out again. Well, hey, let's have some fun. And I mean, for the love of God, stop with the trash, ridiculous, absolutely insane arguments that come from one platform to another when one platform does this and nobody says a damn word. So let's get into it.
Nice. Yo, shout out to Swaz. Talking about Ken Kniff from Connecticut. I'm not sure if Crispy, he knows about... yeah, there he is.
You don't know about this, do you?
And he says, our internet do be popping, though. Of course, he also lives in Connecticut. So he knows the deal. He knows what's going on here. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat already, guys. Yes, I know I'm on Crossfire, but super chat is working, people. Oh my goodness. Sir X-Man says, I'm going to make Crispy a Battlefield 2042 GOD. Crispy, are you prepared for that training, bro?
I'm down.
Okay.
Dead serious. I do like Battlefield. What they showed at the showcase was pretty impressive, and I feel like going for all out war, even though it's against other people, is going to be fun because we have vehicles involved, and that will help me.
I got you, bro. Shout out to Jonathan Ball. What is going on, brother? He knows me as the Xbox defense lawyer from Crossfire. That is right. I put my work in on Fridays over there, yo, and it seems like the panels are always set to go against me. Like, it'll be me against like 5 other dudes that won't let me talk. It's weird, man, but I have a lot of fun over there as well. But I like being here on my channel. I could really express myself. I could talk to my homies on the panel right here, and we could talk about some gaming news, and that's what we are going to do right now. And I'm going to go over to K Mega on this, and I don't think he knows I was going to do this, but Mega, I heard there was some really good news with a fighter that was exclusive to Xbox that people have been wondering about a sequel. Did you read the article?
I read a little bit of it. Yeah, I read.
What is going on with
it?
It
wasn't that long.
Let people know about what fighting game we're talking about. Let people know kind of like what's going on there, and then kind of share your thoughts, and then we'll go throughout the panel on this one.
All right, yeah, it's Killer Instinct, the greatness, one of the best fighters, if not the best fighter of last gen. And you know how much I love my Tekken, but yeah, there was just nothing with the netcode, with the uniqueness of the characters, the way that the game flowed, and then of course, you had the option, which a lot of other fighters started trying to implement, especially Street Fighter, where people could just play for free, just play one of the characters that was in rotation, and then just go from there. And of course, that would just set people up because of the way that the game played, the way it felt. A lot of people bought the seasons or bought all the seasons because there was 3 seasons. But yeah, Killer Instinct, Phil Spencer. I mean, if you guys has been listening, I mean, I've said this for a minute. Phil.
This is why I sent it to you, man, because I know you've been out there.
Yeah. Phil said it himself. Told me himself that it was that what they were trying to do But yeah, it's a property that he definitely wants to work on. It's just that they were just trying to find the right studio to work on it. That was, that gave me just relief. I mean, of course, the team that worked on it was Iron Galaxy, which, before that was Double Helix, but then Iron Galaxy took over because I forgot who got Double Helix. It was Amazon or Google. I can't remember which one. And then,
well, if it was Google, they might be free again at some point in time.
Well, could be, but then of course Iron Galaxy got bought out, and their lead is Adam Voorhees, who was a part of the part of PlayStation or Sony, which was there with the classic. If you don't know who that is, the guy with the classic 2013 PlayStation reveal, where it was Yoshida, and then there was the other guy that was Adam Voorhees, where they was handing him the disc with the game. And anyway, so they got other stuff that they're working on, but they didn't know there was a Killer Instinct documentary. They was just talking about the love, the things that they do. And what was really fascinating about it is that there's not too many developers that can do what Double Helix can do, or there's only a few developers that can do it. The way that the game moves and flows, in which that's kind of crazy to think about.
That's what concerned, if I had any concerns, I want a Killer Instinct sequel. My whole thing is the developers that have worked on it before cannot work on it now. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, not too many people, for people who haven't played Killer Instinct, there is such a unique feel to that, to the combo system, just the fighting experience in general. That's the only thing that would concern me is would the new developer still bring kind of that feel to the game, man? That would be my only concern.
Well, yeah, but I don't think I think that was a point to me, was just take your time, because they said there was also an article as well from the people from Double Helix. I mean, I'm from Iron Galaxy, that said that they do want to work on the game. They really they kind of didn't understand how the business worked, and so when they had their first offer, they just jumped on it instead of them just waiting for Microsoft to match, or they would have signed with Microsoft and we probably would have already had a sequel already. Because Killer Instinct, believe it or not, it did really, really well. It was one of the first games that was doing Forza Horizon numbers, doing the 8 to 10 million players before Horizon even really started taking off when Horizon 3 dropped. So and on PC it did really well. So, from all the because we don't know the actual numbers, but we know that there were over 10 million players. So therefore that tells you that they had at least 7 million sales by that point in time, and that was in 2017. So now I'm pretty sure that this, because the game is really cheap, so people can jump on it, and every time that we go and play, it's always full. Because it's always full, and there's always people that's playing the game. So that just kind of tells you that that's one of those fighters that people crave. And of course, one of the biggest content creator fighter people out there, Maximilian Dude, he's been wanting that game to come back. He's also he was one of the people that helped build or create Battletoad the way that a lot of people wish that the Battletoad game would look. But yeah, I mean, the game is just amazing. I've heard that there were some people that was trying to talk bad about it because it didn't do very good at Evo. But if you remember, Xbox at that time, they couldn't do anything right compared to a lot of people around the world, and bringing it to Killer Instinct to Evo just wasn't doing that. That was pretty much the only flaw. But other than that, just the game itself, there was no game that could touch it online, period. And then just the way of, like you were saying earlier, the combat system is just unique, and that's what makes it so special. And Iron Galaxy said that they want to work on it. They just got to work on some other stuff. So maybe after they're done, Microsoft and them can work a deal, because now Phil is now coming out publicly and is saying, look, we're going to work on this game. We knew that this game was really popular, and and I'm glad that and really for him to say something, maybe there's been something that's been going on behind closed doors that's actually pushed this further along than what we actually know. So I'm real hype about it. I'm glad. I know that I've been screaming about this game. A lot of people said it wasn't coming back, but it is official now. And hey, I'm ready. Whenever it comes, just bring it. I can't wait. I know other people. My last point was like people want NetherRealm to work on it. If NetherRealm can't get any of those developers from Iron Galaxy to come over to NetherRealm, if NetherRealm would be up for sale, or if Microsoft would look for another developer or whatever, then I don't know if I would want that.
I could tell you right off the bat, I would not want NetherRealm because I don't want Killer Instinct just being a Mortal Kombat clone. Like I like Injustice, the game and stuff, but
Injustice is not a clone. It plays different than Mortal Kombat.
But you can tell the core, there's a Mortal Kombat core to it, man, and I just don't want that. Like Killer Instinct it's just so fresh and so different in its pacing and its combo system and all that good stuff. Like I like the speed and kind of like the just the overall nature of the fighting in Killer Instinct.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why that game is just so unique. So you would want the perfect team to work on it, or have somebody to have it, because what's really crazy is that when Double Helix did it, like they did a fantastic job, and then when Iron Galaxy did it, they enhanced it and put their own stamp on it, which made it great. So who's to say that there's not other players out there, because there's some indie games that I've been looking that's had this type of speed of Killer Instinct. We just don't know if with the combo systems and stuff. So there's a lot of things. I don't know what Microsoft could have up their sleeve, or maybe trying to build another studio for just Killer Instinct only, or I don't know. But we know that it's coming, and that's going to be one of the main positive things right there, is that at least one of these games from the Xbox One era is going to be coming back. So hopefully we can get more.
Nice. And I am excited for that. And like K Mega said, I feel that when Phil Spencer comes out and says something about it, now he'll say something in parties, to people like he's talking to and stuff like that. But when he comes out and really just says that out to the public, he's solidifying himself that that's something he wants to do. He talked about, what he wanted to do with Xbox in terms of, taking that power narrative and putting it back into Xbox, and then working on games. And we see exactly what he's done. He has done exactly what he has said. There's certain things that he said that he didn't do, which I've already called him out for. I don't need to live in that and constantly bring it up. For people who follow the channel, that when Phil Spencer says something and it doesn't come through, I say it. I talk about it. I voice my displeasure or whatnot. I say, what I think is going on there and what I think needs to happen. So with that being said, anything going forward with Xbox, I feel like he has done all the important points that he said he was going to do. So when he comes out and says something about a game like that, I'm kind of leaning toward where K Mega is like, there's probably a little more going on behind the scenes, and he just feels comfortable kind of saying it out loud right now. And I'm excited about that. But Dark Optimus, are you here? Are you talking? What's good?
He just disappeared again.
He disappeared again? As soon as I went to go talk to him.
Wait.
I heard him come back in.
What's up?
Dark, how is your voice doing, man? Are you
I don't know, dude. I don't know how long you're gonna have me for. I don't know.
I got you, brother. I got you. Well, what do you think about Phil coming out and really saying basically Killer Instinct is not dead. They're still trying to find the right developers for this. Like, were you a Killer Instinct fan? What do you think about this news? Are you excited here?
I mean, I'm not excited because I'm not a big fan of KI, but I'm excited for K Mega because I know he's a huge KI fan. So and I know how much he loves that game. So I mean, I'm excited that he's gonna be able to get that game, coming eventually, back this generation. Yeah, eventually. So I mean, that's awesome. But for me personally, I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait for that. But yeah, because I'm more of like a NetherRealm type of fighting type of person. So I like those games, and I like Tekken and stuff like that. Even though I gave K Mega shit about Tekken, I do like Tekken.
He likes that body oil.
On a greatness.
Yeah, it's just I kind of figured that he was gonna come out and say something about it, but he didn't. It's not confirmed yet, but I'm sure Killer Instinct is going to come back. I mean, I don't see why not. It's a pretty big franchise, and so many people loved it on the Xbox One. So we'll see.
Nice, brother. Yo, Crispy. I'm not sure if you got into Killer Instinct, so you gotta let us know if you got in.
I played the Killer Instinct 1 and 2 a lot.
Like the original version.
Yes, on the Sega Genesis. Yes.
Oh, all right. And then you never played like Killer Instinct on the Xbox One?
I played it, but the problem is that like you literally had to buy the characters, which pissed me off.
Okay. Well, what do you think about this news, man? It's basically the franchise isn't dead. They're still, as you know, what's going on here. I guess they're still looking for that developer. Which, after hearing K Mega and how hard it is to kind of, get a fighting game with that pacing, that combo system, get it up and running. I remember one of the big things when Killer Instinct first came out was the particle effects. Like that was absolutely extraordinary when you were fighting. There, two fireballs hit each other, and there was just particle effects absolutely everywhere on the screen. Like it looked incredible. But what do you think about this news, bro?
Well, I'm gonna go against what K Mega says because I think it's wrong. Let's think about it this way. Okay, the king of fighters for a developer is who? For the king of fighters, it's going to be NetherRealm. Used to be Midway, whatever. They are the king of fighters. They have made multiple different types of fighters, including Injustice. Okay. The one thing that I'm looking at, and this is tinfoil hat time. Okay, tinfoil hat. Going there real quick. But Turtle Rock Studios, it was published by WB Games, and it's going to be day and date in Game Pass. That's a tall tale sign to me that there's some kind of partnership behind the scenes that is starting to happen. Because you could say published, and it doesn't mean anything to you. But everybody remember the show coming to Xbox Game Pass? Well, guess what? That was because the MLB published.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I look at that and I say, there's something going on there. Now, I'm not saying that, Microsoft bought them or anything like that. What I'm saying is that, Ed Boon's desire to do a Killer Instinct has actually been well documented throughout like the past 5 years. A lot of people don't realize that. Like, he has constantly brought up this game. And actually, he had a conversation, within the actual, if you go and look, with Phil. And Phil said, basically, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I just feel like regardless of the purchase or not, they would be willing to let NetherRealm do that. And it wouldn't even be totally exclusive the whole time. I don't even feel like it would be like that. But they're looking for a fighter. The fighter, even in the showcase, you didn't see really a true fighter. You saw the animal. I don't even know how to.
Party animals?
I don't remember. Party animals.
Oh,
okay.
Let's go with the party animals. Yeah.
That was probably the closest to getting to a fighter out of all of them. And it's quite hilarious if you think about it. So if you think about this, it's like, all these other developers are kind of like, I don't know if I want to do it, whatever, whoever's worked on Killer Instinct for years or whatever, it's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Or we need funding or this and that. And then you got one constant that's like, I'll do it. And I get it. Like, you think it's going to be a Mortal Kombat, but from what Ed Boon has said over the years, I feel like he's a real, true fighter fan and loves the way Killer Instinct plays.
You know, when Ed Boon was talking about Killer Instinct, because I remember that, but the biggest thing I remember was like people were throwing out a MK versus KI situation, and what I think about that, Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct, like that game, and we saw that, you know, what was it, Street Fighter X,
Street Fighter Cross.
Yeah. What I would want is, like, I would want the people that developed Killer Instinct to do you know, KI v MK, and then NetherRealm do MK v KI. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No. What I'm saying to you is that I don't feel like it's at that point, because you have to realize, like, Mortal Kombat 11 has come out with, like, story. It's come out with all these characters, and you haven't seen anything else about Mortal Kombat 12. They're actually known for, like, going 5 to 6 years down the road before they start, you know, really going into what they're going to do with the next Mortal Kombat. They know it's a hit.
Yo, brother,
There won't be another.
I got a super chat. I got a super
Yeah,
chat
you
talking
better
to you,
read that
Crispy.
super chat.
Yo, I got a super chat talking, and it was funny because I was gonna say something, Viper. Yo, shout out to RG Viper, my brother, man. In the chat, it is good to see you, and he is hitting up that super chat. That is right, people. The super chat works. But he said Killer Instinct was never on Sega Genesis. It was in the arcade, Super Nintendo, and N64. Get it right, you fraud. Oh. What do you got to say for yourself, Crispy?
Played it on Sega Genesis.
Yeah, it
No, you
wasn't
didn't.
on Genesis.
Yes,
You never played it. You never played. There must have been a mod chip or something.
It was.
I don't know.
It was a rare property. So that's how Microsoft got a hold of it, because it was rare, which was owned by Nintendo.
I remember it being on, like, I remember all that. It was on Sega Genesis. So I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you can't find that in the internet. Okay, we're talking like what, 96, 95,
Yo,
something
brother,
like
brother,
that.
there were more than one person. There were more than one person in the chat saying no Sega Genesis, bro.
That might have been a ROM or something you were playing.
Yeah, maybe he was playing Eternal Champions and thought that was Killer Instinct.
No, it was Killer Instinct, dude.
Okay.
Dun dun dun. The plot thickens, people. The plot thickens. But all right, man. Let's move. And we got bigger topics. So let's hit up Predator about the Killer Instinct situation, and then we will get into some more juicier topics. So, yo, Pred, what do you think about this Phil coming out basically saying that, you know, Killer Instinct is not dead, people? We're just trying to get the right developers. Do you think that, you know, he just feels confident because there might be something further along, kind of like behind the scenes? And what do you think about, you know, getting a sequel to Killer Instinct eventually, man?
Yeah, if he said it, they're working on it. You know, like, I've noticed this with Phil. If he mentions something about a game like that, if he knows it's not in the works, he'll be like, "That's something we would love to get. That's something we would love to work on."
That's that Phil language.
But if he's working on something, he'll be like, he'll say what he said just now. He'll kind of allude to the fact that it's been looked into and it's something that they're planning on doing at some point in time. Now, how far along in that process they are is a different story. I'm trying to think, even with MLB, when they brought that over, if you go back a couple of years, he mentioned that. He mentioned, like, we would love to get something like that on Xbox. We just don't have, you know, we don't want to have to build a studio to make a game, basically. In layman's terms, I'm kind of paraphrasing how he said it, but he's like, it's something that we really, really want, and we're working on it. You know, we'll see what we can do. And they got that bullshit RBI baseball, but they really wanted a major league game in there. And so when he said that, I was like, I wonder if they're trying to work something. I honestly thought they were going to try and do their own thing, or maybe have it outsourced with like EA or something like that. But when it came to Game Pass, you know, that this kind of folded everything together for me. So when he mentions this, like, even like, you know, his little hints he dropped sometimes, like with the Battletoad t-shirt years ago, you know, even though it took like 4 years for the game to come out, but he had that t-shirt on, and everybody's like, oh my God, Battletoads. And then, you know, the hype started rolling. So he mentioned it, so I think it's coming. And I'm not a huge fighter fan, but I know that Killer Instinct was one of the franchises that a lot of my friends love playing when it comes to fighters. So, and with us not having, I'll say us, the Xbox side not really having a fighter per se anymore, this is kind of just tied to the system. I really think they should kind of go for it, because like Street Fighter, it seems like it's kind of made ties with PlayStation with them making it exclusive last gen. So I really think they need to come out with another fighter. Now, who makes it? Different story. We can argue that until we're blue in the face. But the fact that he's still at least discussing it and is intrigued to get it done lets us know that there at least there's something working's going on in the pipeline.
Yeah, exactly, and it's got me excited, because that is one of the fighters that like I will play. When it comes to Sunday nights and K Mega's fight night, or whenever they're in Mortal Kombat 11 or Killer Instinct, that's what entices me of like coming out of the woodworks and joining the party, and everybody's like, "Oh, Xbox here!" Like, what happened? What holiday is this that Xbox showed up to this whole thing? And I'm like, man, it's it's either Killer Instinct Day or it's Mortal Kombat Day. You know what I'm saying? Those
Whoa! Did he just give himself like a holiday? We just was like, damn, we usually be in bed and tucked in with your hot dog juice. You know what I'm saying?
Where'd you get hot dog juice from, man?
Hot dog water.
Man, you always cooking. You always talk about you cooking hot dogs.
Coffee and hot dogs.
Yeah,
I'll take the L. I'll take the L. It was the Super Nintendo, because I was at the Teen Zone and it had the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and it would easily flip between the two. So yes, it was the Super Nintendo.
Look at that. Yo, shout out to my brother Crispy, letting you guys know the real deal. Letting you guys know, you're right, man. You're right. This was the situation, and you guys got it down pat there.
Finally, Crispy takes an L.
Not from you, dude.
Yo, hey, that is true, Dark Guy.
Hey, I don't care about that.
I'll take the L from the chat, because
you've taken L's plenty of times.
I used to go to the Teen Zone. The Teen Zone had like all kinds of stuff.
You just deny that you're wrong about things, but you've taken L's from me before, dude.
Oh, and so have you.
Wow, Swaz wants us.
I'm not denying it.
Swaz wants us anytime we're wrong.
Gears, bro.
Anytime we're wrong, we need to take a shot of whiskey. But
He needs some milk.
You got to be on webcam for that, dude. I don't know what kind of situations would evolve from that. Swaz, you know me with whiskey, bro. But yo, guys,
I'll be fine.
Let's get into there's something I have been seeing out there. First off, we're gonna get into the gaming media. All right, we're gonna get into big gaming media, and I know that might be the black hole that some people just don't want to get into. But what I've been seeing the last few weeks has been absolutely insane. Now, we've been seeing stuff from gaming media for years, right? But it seems like they hit these, either you can call them low points, you could call them high points in insanity, or whatever you want to say. But it seems like we're at this point right now where the gaming media, they talk about Game Pass, and I see a lot of positive about Game Pass, because let's be honest, there's not too much on the negative side that you can say about that subscription service. I think Xbox has knocked it out of the park when it comes to Game Pass, but there's been articles like Game Pass will succeed because people want quantity over quality, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, think about the quality games that are in Game Pass, plus with the quantity. Like, people want both. Not only that, but you got these articles talking about Starfield, that there's still a chance that Starfield is going to come to the PlayStation 5, that there's a chance that Forza could go to the PlayStation 5. I got to ask you guys, and I don't know who wants to take this first. I'm going to put it up for grabs. Whoever wants to snatch it first, snatch it. What the hell is going on with the gaming media right now? They seem to be all over the place and like saying the most outlandish things I have seen and putting articles out about them. Who wants to take this?
I think they're just pushing a narrative for the fanboys to rally and try to, come up with some stupid fucking narrative that doesn't even make any sense in the first place. Like, why would all of a sudden Forza Horizon 5 come to PlayStation when all the other ones are not on PlayStation? That's completely ridiculous. It's also
there is a chance there, but
no, it's not, dude. There's not a fucking chance.
The chance would be
The
on
chance
whether or
would
not
be
whether or not Sony would let Game Pass
right,
stream
exactly.
games onto the PlayStation.
Exactly, and that's the only way that those games would ever come to PlayStation.
Yeah, and it would be
that's
it.
Streamed. But to come natively to the PlayStation, no, never. This is never gonna happen. Get that out of your head, Sony fanboys. Get that shit out of your head. It's never gonna fucking happen. Even if you bitch, moan, cry, and fucking kick your fucking feet in the air all you want, it's never gonna happen. So get over it. Because I mean, those games are gonna be on Xbox and Xbox only, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's the same thing with the exclusives on the PlayStation. There's nothing you can do about it except for buy a PC or get a PlayStation. That's it. Period. Like both companies have realized that exclusives do matter, and that's where they're gonna drive home with people buying their consoles and buying their products. Period. So just get over it. I don't understand this whole fucking shit.
And the funny thing is, when you talk to like PlayStation extremists, their whole thing about Xbox is they have no games. So when exclusives are announced, of course exclusives meaning Xbox console, PC, and xCloud, right? That's where Xbox is. That's the Xbox platform now. All of a sudden, articles come out about a first-party title like Forza and the possibility of it going to PlayStation 5. I thought Xbox had no games. Why would you want it there?
It's because they can't stand that Xbox is gonna have some really good fucking games, dude. They can't stand it. They only want those games to be on PlayStation. They only want good games to be on PlayStation. It's like, dude, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay, you gotta be able to say, okay, Xbox, there's a reason. I look at it this way. There's a reason for me to go out and buy an Xbox now or get a PC that's better than what I have right now. I look at it as that, not as like, well, they're fucking locking me out. And like, it's so fucking childish, man. I'm so, dude, that's why I've been staying away from Twitter lately, because some of the shit I fucking see, dude, I'm like, I see from people that are in the community that I'm just like, oh my god, dude, just shut the fuck up, man. Seriously, like, this is completely stupid juvenile shit. I'm sorry, but I'm upset about it because it's fucking annoying, man. It really is.
I got you.
I'm done.
No, I got you, man. And when it comes to Twitter, I see your point. Like, I don't necessarily leave Twitter. When I'm at work, on my breaks and stuff
I don't
like
leave
that,
it.
I like to browse through
it.
I mean, there was somebody trying to knock, diversity and Xbox using diversity to get to like millions of gamers or whatever, and they were talking about the millions of gamers part, but they were trying to ignore diversity. K-Mega, I saw that. When it came down to it, and there is some craziness out there, but getting back to the gaming media, like,
he's changed up real quick because he was about to get lit up.
Who's gonna get lit up? Who are you talking about, Mega?
Somebody in the Twitterverse, man. That's all.
Oh yeah, that fucking, oh my god.
Why y'all being all bitches? Say it's not. I'm scared.
Nah, I keep it general, bro. I keep it general, man.
I mean, they're not gonna call us out. Then why would we call them out?
Can't make it like Bone Crusher because we outside of the club.
Well, that's the thing. I see it. If you call me out, I'm gonna call your ass out. Like, if you're gonna say something that's fucking stupid,
well, how about not saying it's gonna get your ass called out in the first place?
Right, exactly.
I mean, like if I do something fucked up, I expect to get called out for it. If I say some fucked up
Exactly.
shit, so like I mean,
And
like
I've
I
said
have no
some
problem
fucked
saying
up
his name.
shit.
I have
I
no
know
problem
I
saying his
have.
name, but I ain't gonna do it on Pop's channel. But I mean, fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was just using that example that Twitter is definitely a crazy, crazy place. But getting back to gaming media, like they talk really good about Game Pass, but then all of a sudden an article comes up talking about quantity over quality, and really gets you to scratch your head there. Especially since we just saw 27 of 30 games going into Game Pass just at Xbox's E3 show. It's like, yeah, there's quantity there. But there's also quality, so why are you trying to say like it's the quantity and it's not the quality? And why try to denounce that it could possibly be both?
Because they want Starfield and they want Forza Horizon 5 after they seen the fucking trailers at the Xbox conference, dude. They want those games. They're like, I want this game on my console. Oh my god! Just go out and buy a fucking Xbox, man. How hard is it?
Hey, I want
hard.
fucking Spider-Man there. Like, come on.
No,
Like,
trust
I
me,
want to play as
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
wasn't that good, bro. Trust me, and I'm a Spider-Man fan. It's the same Spider-Man game basically. But
still, I want the option to play it. I think everybody does on Xbox,
Yeah.
right? I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, it's nice to have options, but dude, I mean, if the console, if the manufacturer and the people say you're not gonna get it on your console, don't bitch about it. Just go out and buy the console if you really want to play that game, or buy PC. It's not hard.
Well, I need storage. That's part of it.
I got you. Well, Leo, let me hit up these super chats real quick. I'm trying to keep on top of Sir X-Man's super chats. I want to make sure I don't miss one, because I have a habit of missing possibly one. But shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up the super chat one more time. He says, "I want Bloody Roar as an Xbox exclusive," and I think there's some.
That's the 10th time he said that, by the way.
That not tonight.
No. Throughout the many months, as I like to say.
Well, he also hit up the super chat again. He said, "For Xbox to have no games, you sure want our invisible games. Ain't that funny?" That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we don't have any games, but then there's articles saying that maybe Forza Horizon 5 could somehow come to PlayStation. It's like, no, you
that
don't want
one
that.
made me laugh.
Yeah, that
one
really
made me laugh.
I think that's what put me over the
That's
edge to make it a
all
topic, dude. To be
clickbait.
really honest with you, and shout out to RG Viper X, brother. What are you doing hitting up the super chat, bro? But he says, so if the ponies have a petition for Starfield coming to PS5, then Xbox need to get a petition for Spider-Man and God of War options. Now, brother.
Yeah, why not?
Well, just because they do it doesn't mean that we have to do it either. I mean, they're really, for anybody who signs that petition that says Xbox has no games, I mean, they're frauding themselves, man. They're being hypocritical. Is that pretty much it? They
Yeah.
So why would we do that? Me personally, I don't necessarily.
Fraud in the public, as I call it.
Fraud in the public. There we go. That's
actually
I like that one.
That's a K-mega-ism right there. But
That's Oklahoma-ism.
When it comes to God of War, like, guys, me personally, I like the old God of Wars. Like, God of War 3 Remastered was probably my most played game on my PlayStation 4. But other than that, the new one, like, because it doesn't have that speed and it doesn't have, like, certain things I liked from the older God of War, I could live without it, bro.
Don't start that.
Did you play it?
That.
Huh?
Did you play it?
It didn't interest me, man. I saw
Did you play
the
it?
gameplay.
Did you play it?
I was the same way. I was the same way as you, but it's a damn good game. It
is good.
Corey Balrog put some good sauce on it. Now, I mean, I'm like you. I still like David Jaffe's version better because it's more raw. But there, you can't take away from how good that.
I'm
damn
just saying
game
I could
was. That
live
game was
without
really
it though.
impressive.
Like,
I was. Yeah, no, I mean, look, I mean, there's 100 and some million consoles out there, and it sold what, 15, 10, 12? So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of other people that felt the same way, but it's like but it's still it's a special game though.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'll give you that. But me personally, I'm not going to sign that petition for that.
Oh, I wouldn't sign no petition. No, hell no. Just
no, man. We're
not for that game.
That's the thing. Xbox dudes would never create a petition like that because they don't care.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. There's always some.
Don't say that.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about guys like us. We're not gonna go out there and
we'll just go by the system. Yeah.
We'll go by the system, or just wait till it comes to PC or whatever. Hope it comes to PC. So I'll just do it that way. So
yeah.
Wow, yo, Adrian Lopez was like, they should trade games for games. Like, you want Spider-Man? Give us Forza. Like, nah. Oh, RG Viper, David Jaffe got his PlayStation account suspended. Oh, damn. I did not know that.
I did see that. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh. Somebody said on, I think one of his podcasts or something. Maybe?
He did, yeah.
And once that happens, you don't get it back either.
No, it's only for a week. But the thing is, it happened after he made that rant about exclusive games on Xbox. Mm-hmm. About Starfield being exclusive on Xbox. That ban came, I think, after that. Which is ironic. So
a little ironic there. Yeah.
I'll say my piece on this subject real quick.
Nice.
Since you open it up to the party. So like, I don't think the gaming media is doing their job. I think that's part of the problem. They're not investigating. Like, when you go to sports teams and stuff like that, or just like the news, they always have somebody there in the trenches trying to get that story, trying to get all of it, right? Like they're there with the microphone in that person's face, trying to get that exclusive story from whoever, It seems like nowadays it's us YouTubers doing that kind of stuff. Like we're trying to get the story from the developers and from everybody else, and the people with the big media, they don't really do that. They sit back and they do their little videos and stuff like that on their websites that are like like the IGNs and stuff like that on their shows, so I say it that way. But like the web members, the webcasters are the ones that are actually getting the intel for stuff, and you don't see anybody out there doing real journalism as far as digging to get information on stuff like that. Like they're waiting, like they're getting their information from us. You know what I'm saying? Like from the leaker, such and such on Reset Error said this, and that's how they're getting their information, and they're taking that as the gospel truth.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're taking that as the gospel truth, and I was like, dude, why didn't you verify it? Like we've seen it happen a couple of times where they've gone out and posted something, and they didn't actually fact check the shit. They posted it on their fucking website, and then you got media people like, and again, I'm thinking big media, that they have their influencers that are out there they have their shows, and they're posting stupid shit wearing fucking PlayStation chains, talking shit about Xbox. It's completely biased, and I don't know if this is a topic. I mean, like the Metacritic stuff. Is that included in this topic too?
That's a part of this. This whole thing.
Like with the multi-plat thing, it's the same game. Like if you're judging it based off of like the way the game plays on a specific system, or how it looks, like the resolution, frame rate, and you mark it down because that's one thing. But like, and this happened with a game, another multi-plat game a while back, where the Xbox scores were significantly lower, but you look at the count of who reviewed it, and it was only like 15 people. But then you look at the Xbox version of it, it was like 100. I'm like, so they're shrinking numbers, you know what I'm saying? But like, you got these little small ass podunk sites, and we're talking about this behind the scene. If I'm marketing the game on my platform, I'll be damned if I send out review copies or let that company send out review copies to the competitor. Period. Like, you're going to review this game, it's going to be reviewed on the system that actually markets it, and that's how you're going to play it. That's how you're going to review it. And it seems like the game required Dark Alliance. I know that's the game's going to come up later, but like that game got reviewed. At least when I looked at it last, it only had like 8 reviews on Xbox, and it had like 80 on PlayStation. Like really, like how are you ever gonna, like, all it takes is like 4 bad scores, and like some mediocre scores. And even like with the game media, like when they review games, like they're not having the people who are actually good at those games review them. They get some motherfucker in the back that makes coffee to play a game like Forza, who's never played a racing game in their life, and then they give it like a 5. I didn't like it. Well, motherfucker, you don't like racers. Like, that's not your thing. Like, why do these companies have these people reviewing these games? So like, This is one of the reasons why I don't get too caught up in reviews when I see them. I'll look at the scores to see what they're scoring because obviously, just for bragging rights, I would love to be able to say Xbox got a 95 rated Metacritic game. It looks good, but it doesn't happen that way. Like the scores on Xbox are typically 5 points lower than they probably should be, and it's either it's either A, we're reviewing these games genuinely, or B, they're just boosting the scores of the PlayStation versions of games for whatever reason. Because I think PlayStation typically, those bonuses and those like that extra money those guys get to make those games comes off of the review scores. And I thought I've seen that article somewhere. Like they hype those, they use that to kind of, help the, give those guys extra money and stuff like that. Like this game isn't a 90 plus Metacritic or 85 plus Metacritic, then you won't get this bonus. Or if this game is an 85 plus Metacritic, then it's a failure, which isn't true. There's plenty of games out there that got low scores that are really, really good. That maybe they sucked in the beginning when they reviewed it, when it wasn't fully developed, or it was, the patch wasn't there. Like Sea of Thieves got what, like a 60?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still playing Sea of Thieves like 3 years later. So like, stop basing your results of review scores on how you want to play a game. Just especially with Game Pass, just fucking play it. It's easy. What do you want, Dark?
Pred, would you say that
He wants
PC is more like would be more like you could compare that more with consoles because sometimes PC games run better on a PC than they do on a console. Like, could you say that? Like, I don't know how to word it in a way.
If they're basing their scores off the way the game plays versus I'm trying to think of the right word. If they're basing it on the way the game performs,
there you go.
Right, and and that's what they're saying. It performs better on this system than the other. I can agree with that. Like, but you can't sit there and be like, okay, this guy's got a 3090 Ti God Mode X, and he's playing, this game, they're playing Battlefield, and then he's playing it on the Series S. Fuck it, the OG Xbox, and he's reviewing both of them based off the performance. It's not fair, it doesn't make any sense. But like, if they're just saying, okay, well, it's different if they mention issues like, hey, I was playing Battlefield and this happened on this scene. I just want to bring it up, but it's not going to reflect my score. But I want you to note that this does happen. It can be patched later and fixed. That's one thing. But if they're just saying, I saw this, and because of that only, I'm marking this game down to a 6 because it happened like twice. Fuck everything else they said that happened in the game that was really good. They're marking it down for that one little thing. I think that's wrong. I mean, like significantly marking it down. That's different, and you can't compare the performance on a PC to an Xbox or a PC, or a PlayStation 5, because it's going to be different performances. So I would think that if they're going to review a game, they should only review it on gameplay, period. Just gameplay and the story, stuff like that. It should not involve, unless they want to give it a separate score based off of the console they're playing on. But the thing is, they're not comparing it to the other consoles. They're only playing it on one. You can't be like, I'm going to give this PlayStation 5 a 9, but the same game, I'm going to give it a 6 on the Xbox when you never even played it on the Xbox. Because I noticed when I was looking at the review scores of that game, Dark Alliance, there's only one, at least at the time, there's only one website that reviewed it on both, and they gave it the same score.
Oh, wow.
They gave it a 75. I forgot which one it was. It was a smaller site, but they reviewed it. It was 2 different reviewers, but I think they kind of said and that's the thing. If they're going to have reviewers, if like an IGN's going to have a reviewer, have both of them reviewed by 2 different people.
Yeah,
and then have them come together
especially
with
sites like IGN, GameSpot, stuff like that. Who can they have the resources to like have people review both of them. And kind of go that way. It's kind of interesting, kind of the lopsided nature of how many reviews were on the PlayStation side compared to how little, how few.
Because they got codes, they got review codes. Some of the guys are like, thanks for the review code. I'm like, well, thinking like, why would they send them a review code if it's an Xbox monthly game? Like, why would they even allow that? But it may be something that's written in Microsoft's contract where they don't really give a fuck. But I mean, I don't know. I would kind of taper that back a little bit just to at least get the reviews at least scaled to the Xbox side to some degree, where it's at least even. Like
yeah, because if you
lopsided.
have more reviews, then it would take more lower numbers to get that overall review score, that much lower. But like I see exactly what you're saying. When you don't have as many reviews, all it takes is 1 or 2 low scores, and all of a sudden you're 5, 7, 10 points below. The other platforms, the games that were reviewed on other platforms that had way more reviewers reviewing the game on that platform. It makes a lot of sense, bro.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to say too, don't just look at the score. Like, read the actual article. If you're gonna be that person who's gonna base your opinion of a game on a review, don't just go to the website or just see the score and then be like, this game sucks. Like, read the actual review. They may tell you why it sucks. They may change your opinion. Your reason why you may or may not want to get that game, because again, like I remember the Forza review with a guy. He was like, I don't really play racers, and he gave it like a 6. Like okay, that's fine. This isn't your genre, so just read the whole.
I don't like this racing game because I couldn't get out and shoot people. Like,
I don't like Ori because I couldn't get past the fucking opening scene because I don't know how to use a jump button. Too much B button. 2 points marked off.
Yeah, I'm glad you said B button because A button, K Mega's ears would have been ringing at that point in time. But let's go to Crispy on this. Gaming media going absolutely insane. Some of the articles they're funny. Don't get it twisted. They are funny, but for the people that don't get into this information as much and they kind of rely on these websites and their articles to kind of, form different opinions about stuff that's coming out, that I can guarantee you there are some people that do have, a PlayStation 5 or something that's like, Forza might come to my system at some point in time. Like, why do I need to invest in Xbox at all at that point? Like, because they don't necessarily know that article was full of crap, basically. What do you think about what's going on here with gaming media, man? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Why is it getting this insane right now, man?
It's getting this insane because they see games that they want on their console and they can't have them. It's against the rules. Now, let's be honest for a second, okay? Metacritic is pretty funny to me. And I'm going to give you a prime example right now of 2 PlayStation exclusives. Okay? So, the Metascore of Returnal is an 86. It has a 7.3 user score. Okay? Then we go to the game that I've heard no complaints about, absolutely nothing. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. It's an 88 Metascore, so it's only 2 above. And it has a 9.1 user score. And for me, even though I never played the game or nothing like that, I look at that user score and I say, why does this make sense? I almost feel like, games that deserve a 9 don't get them. And, Insomniac, they're pretty damn good at what they do. Mm-hmm. They've brought out games for PlayStation, especially becoming first party for them, which, everybody says, oh, PlayStation doesn't buy anything. They don't do anything. Well, guess what? Insomniac may have been a part of what you do for years, but you never bought them till now.
That was a big acquisition, too.
And it was huge. And Insomniac really deserves credit because they have basically carried PlayStation 5 into the next generation. Ooh. They have carried them. They are a great developer. Great. Okay? And I look at them and I say, you don't deserve that 88. You deserve that 9.1, which is a 91 to me. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because I've literally had no one complain about that. But how dare you, as a human being, sit there and put Returnal on the same realm as that? That's the way I look at it. Because even Dark has had his gripes about it. Okay? So then we go back to games that Xbox is coming out, and they've hit the 80s and this and that and whatever, especially recently. And it's because of multiplayer more than single player, because you can do co-op. Okay? And that's where I go and say, meta who? Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? Okay? Let's get our heads out of our asses and start realizing, if you want to play a damn game, if you like that game, if you are invested in that genre or whatever it may be, fucking play the game. Stop looking at this stupid shit. Because I'll tell you right now, Returnal should not be even close to Ratchet and Clank.
No,
at least from what
at all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't even, but it's only 2 points. It's like, dude, meta fucking who? Get the fuck out of here. Start thinking about what you want to play. If you don't care about that, then you're just a Twitter fucking handle that's going to go and trash anything that Xbox does. And then also on the other side, you're a Twitter handle that's going to trash anything PlayStation does. Let's start being gamers and stop acting like a bunch of fucking assholes.
Wow. You go ahead, Crispy. Oh my goodness. Guys, if you are entertained right now, like I said, this is a juicier topic. This is the one that's really going to pull kind of like the emotions out of gamers when it comes down to it. And I think a lot of it is rightfully so, because I believe everybody on this panel, we grew up, checking out magazines like Game Informer to get kind of like information about games coming out, information about games in development and stuff like that. And there's been a fall in big gaming media, with the internet, with kind of like the troll community out there, with like that toxic community. It seems like these companies that we have looked towards to get information about games and stuff, that they're all about the clicks now and nothing more. That they'll come out with the most ridiculous articles, that they'll pander to whatever whatever the wave is going through the gaming community, and
it's not even a wave. It's who's paying them, dude. I mean, come on, let's be serious. I'll tell you right now. You want to go watch a great review of Ratchet and Clank? Go watch G4 TV and Adam Sessler. My God, the guy made me want a PS5. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, he's good, man.
He is so good still to this day.
Yeah.
He is so good. And you know what? You want unbiased? I'll tell you right now, I felt no bias at all when he was talking about this game. He fucking loved the game, by the way. Okay? That made me want to get a PS5. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we need in our lives right now, because we have been so broken by this social media bullshit that we need to realize that gaming is supposed to be fucking fun, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you 110%. K-Mega, what do you think about this? You could go in with the Metacritic as well. We were talking about that, but just the gaming media as a whole. And I know you've seen it, K-Mega. I know people have posted these articles on Twitter showing you this, that, or whatnot. It just really, it seems like somebody put something in the gaming media's Kool-Aid and they just went absolutely insane. Am I wrong on that?
No, and this is the one thing when I was media for the very first time doing the E3 stuff this year, and Pred is right. Like, they actually wait on information to come from other sources, and I'm looking, and I'm in Facebook private parties. I'm in what's the other one? Discord private parties, different places, and then you're looking, and I'm like, how is it that these people don't have this information? I mean, I understand for me because I'm just now getting into this space, but how the hell is it that you don't? And I'm looking, and I'm just like, and I mean, of course, like, they're quicker on the information than normal, but it's still one of the things to me that blows my mind is that that, because also like when you're in Reddit and all different other places, there's a lot of developers that want to speak out. There's also other places. There's media types that do soccer accounts that want to be, and just the same thing all the way around. But there is a bias, clearly. And we've been talking about it, and then there was so many, PlayStation fans was like, "Oh, man, just y'all don't have quality games, this, that," and then it turned into, well, Xbox doesn't have any quality games. To then the whole Halo, Gears, and Forza. So those games are just they're put on the side on the shelf because they oversaturate those games. Even though we're now hearing that there's going to be some more Ghost of Tsushima stuff coming, there's going to be some more. There's going to be some more Left 4 Dead, but the game with Ellie and Jacob.
Oh, The Last of Us.
There's going to be some more Last of Us stuff happening. There's going to be some more God of War stuff happening. Some more Horizon Zero Dawn happening. Another GT, another Ratchet and Clank. But again, but PlayStation doesn't saturate. Listen, if games are a hit, games are a hit, and people are
PlayStation oversaturates sometimes.
Well, right, but I mean, that's just, it's just like the movie business. That's why you have sequels. I mean,
exactly.
Look, you got Fast 9. You got the ninth installment of the Fast and the Furious. And my ass is going to be right there, excited to watch it. So
if we lived in the same state, man, I'd be going with you.
Right, and I would be with it. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? The king of the A button and Mr. Mullet himself is going to be kicking it out there, watching some Fast 9. But that's the thing to me that trips me out more than anything is that, and Crispy hit it perfectly, is that social media, and this is, I was having a conversation with my kids the other day. They came over the day after Father's Day, but the stuff that they were looking and showing me from TikTok and all these other, I'm like,
no.
Dude, are you kidding me? Like this is starting to be, I'm like, damn, am I really going to have to look at these young bastards? These young bastards when I get old? Or maybe I should just go ahead and just get out of here early, because I don't know what's going to happen. Because if they take their information from other sources that they have no idea where it's coming from, and then they think that it's true, a lot of us is going to be fucked up at the end of the day, because that's exactly what we see. I mean, there's so much spin. It's the gaming thing is turned into politics. I mean, if and as a person who watches a lot of politics and things like that, and I listen to both sides of the aisle, but then you just can tell who's giving you the bullshit and who's not, right? At the end of the day. But there's just people that just likes the chaotic train wreck. They just like it. Some people just likes the podcast that has, the person getting jumped on because they want that PlayStation person to feel the wrath of Xbox might, or the vice versa, or, just because of the way PlayStation dominated last gen, they want to hear every Xbot feel the wrath of what PlayStation has done. That shit is what happened to just having a conversation, listen to what other people have to say, and then you think for yourself. And I understand there's plenty of people out there that think for themselves, but it's almost to the point now that when you look at reviews and people throw out a score, I see Xbox gamers on here, man, I don't know. And it was just like, I'm playing Dark Alliance right now. You know how I do it. You know how I get down while I'm doing the podcast. And so I get hit up. How is it? Download the goddamn game yourself. You got Game Pass,
man.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you asking me? Because I mean, if I tell you that it's hot, or if I tell you that it's garbage, then you're not gonna play it. I don't want you to not experience the game for yourself and to see if you like it. If it's a game that I didn't like, you see what I'm saying? So again, with reviewers and then like with the media that wants to throw out spin to keep the console war going, and then on the other end, then they get their panties in a bunch, because then that smoke comes after them, and then those crazy ass stands go after them and say nasty things, call them out their name, do crazy things, to try to quote unquote expose them. Then it's all about, no, it's about the kumbaya. We play everything. No. When you have articles that come out and say that Forza is going to be coming on to the PlayStation, you have some crazy ass stands out there that really think that that's a possibility, that Xbox is on the verge of collapsing because of the shit that they listen to on from whatever podcast or whoever that they listen to is telling them the same shit. because they're like, look, the big gaming media is saying the same thing, that there's possibilities. And even if you don't read the articles yourselves, the clickbait from the article's head title is enough to cause enough confusion to even get Xbox gamers even concerned or worried, which is the dumbest shit ever. Listen, Dark was getting close to it, and I thought he was going to say it, but he didn't finish it. But how the hell, when Xbox is at its worst, they didn't put Forza on PlayStation? How the hell is they at their best now that they're going to do? Oh, you know what? We just want to put it on PlayStation. I mean, this is what we do. How is it that you just seen that the head of Xbox comes out and say, this is an exclusive. Starfield is an exclusive. Rainfall is a I think I said that right. What is it? Redfall is an exclusive. There is no way. Listen, I understand that people may think because Jim Ryan be lying and Phil Spencer's been caught in his hand in the cookie jar saying some certain things, and it just didn't come out to be what it was. But for the most part, they don't. They kind of stick to what they stick to, and they say what they mean, especially with Phil. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to sit here and look at like what Phil's saying, you know, not being truthful compared to Phil being truthful, I would say that's 90 to 10%. You know, 90% that he's truthful to 10% that he's not. You know what I'm saying? Now, Jim Ryan, you can say whatever, that's maybe 50-50, you know, 60-40, whoever, you know, however you want to slice that cake. But whatever the case may be, it is what it is. But you cannot imagine when Xbox is doing all of this, and then when you see the strength of Game Pass and what it's doing, it just doesn't make any sense. And these reviews are absolutely asinine because it's like, as well, like it should just be one score. It shouldn't be separated by a PlayStation or by an Xbox or by a Switch. If that game is a multiplayer, then it should just have the same. They should have the reviewers for that for whatever how, and it should be even. It shouldn't be so lopsided where PlayStation has like 70, 80 different reviewers, and then Xbox got 5, and then let's say that this game goes on the Switch as well, and they get 20, and then PC gets 100. You know, that just doesn't make any sense. Those numbers are going to be odd. So you just take that, make it an even number on all platforms if that's going to be a multi-plat, and then even it out accordingly. And I think if you start doing that, then you start eliminating some of those people that likes to throw out those zeros on Metacritic and those 100s, and they'll have some people that actually would really grade the game properly, because that overall zero for that individual console that it's supposed to be slated to won't be hit as bad because it's only just the score for all in one. So that can be an option. But everything is tailored to the console war that it's like, how are you supposed to even believe Metacritic at this point? Like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just asinine. So, you know, just think for yourself, guys. Just play the games for yourself. There's no reason to have anybody. Look, when I first seen the review with Skill Up, really well-renowned reviewer. I think he's got close to 1 million or something. I don't know. He's got a lot of subs, a lot of subscribers. And so I listened to his review, and he destroyed the game. And so, you know what? And that just made me look back and like, whoa. And so I can see why people wouldn't want to come on and try that game out. But then when you look at a game like Scarlet Nexus, okay, we've played that demo. Now, PlayStation fans hasn't played that demo yet, or they might have. I think they got it late. Yeah. Because I seen Jabari and them showing the game and said, "Oh man, I'm gonna cop it." So yeah, they got the demo late. But for the majority of people who played the game, they've been saying that game, it feels good, the controls is right. It seems like it's a really cool, dope game. So how the hell is it that it's going to be better on the PlayStation by that much when you got Xbox gamers that's played the demo that's talking about that they're going to buy the game as well? My last point on this is that the one thing to look at reviews is like OpenCritic. That's real good. Like on Steam, when you have all these people that give real deep, detailed reviews about games. I like reading that stuff from off of Steam because that stuff seems very legit. And then OpenCritic is kind of the same. And then also on Xbox, when you go and look at the reviews for a game that drops, go and look at those reviews too because they seem pretty balanced. But anything with the gaming media or with somebody who's more slated towards Xbox or PlayStation, and then they're talking about that opposite brand, I would never believe anybody because they're going to already come into it biased. So, that's the way that I look at it. But yeah, no, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I did have kind of like a final question on that, but I think I'm going to hold off on that because I have a feeling that there's going to be more waves of articles like this, seeing as how popular those articles were to begin with, from people who might be championing the PlayStation side of things. They're like, let me get this and share this out, and like, oh, look at this, Forza, they're like, I forgot who said it on the panel, but like, oh, Xbox is so desperate that they're thinking about putting the games over here as well, because I feel like there's we've grown up, like I said, on Game Informer. I used to read Nintendo Power as well to see what was coming and to see what they were talking about with the games that were coming out and stuff like that. So I feel like we have been blessed with an age where gaming media was actually gaming media.
Yeah, they was happy about everything.
They weren't taking shots at other platforms or anything like that. And you were getting information about the games and kind of like true reviews, all that good stuff without necessarily comparisons or anything like that either.
I remember back in the day that I don't even remember reading any reviews back in the day. Like, I don't remember reviews really becoming prevalent until like more towards like the 360 era.
Well, Game
Informer, at least for me.
I was reading reviews back in the 90s,
at least I'm saying like at least for me, like I only remember them becoming more prevalent to me around that time frame because I was just like I wasn't really reading that shit.
They had the reviews right before they had, if there were like cheat codes for games and stuff like that, they had the reviews right before that section. So as I was flipping through, trying to get to that section that had like different cheat codes, stuff like that, I would see a game that I was looking forward to, and I would read the review on it to see if like if it is the way I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Give me the details. Let me see what's going on with the game, and then see if back then see if I'm going to bug my parents for it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Right.
But I kind of feel bad, and the thing is, I feel bad for the kids that are growing up now because they're on the computers now. They're on the websites. They're reading these articles the way we were reading Game Informer and Nintendo Power back in the day. So they're taking these words the way we took the actual reviews.
From some people that could be their next door neighbor. That's how you got to look at it, because you don't know, because they keep themselves hid. And that's another thing that hurts it as well, is that if these people would be exposed, by namesake or whatever, then we wouldn't have as many zeros and 100s, because it's clear.
EGM, I forgot about EGM too.
It's clear that people are is doing this for agenda based. Like, there's people that want to give PlayStation higher scores because they want to continue to get those free copies. They don't want to pay for those games, which is their version of Game Pass, pretty much. And so they don't. So of course they can't, because it's been out there. IGN even came out and said it. You know what I'm saying? There's been times when Sony questioned. See, that's the weird shit. Like, how is it that you're going to look at a review and then Sony comes in and questions you on that review? Remember The Last of Us 2? When that was crazy. Like, that didn't even make any sense. Like, well, we tend to disagree. Like,
The Last of Us Part 2 is the first game in history. It's the first game in history where a gaming store would not take it in terms of an exchange. They were getting so many back that they were like, we can't take anymore. Like,
Japan, they were just sending that game back. Also,
actually, I think even GameStops in certain states were not taking them either because they were getting so many back.
Right. Yeah. Also, with the Metacritic scores for the people who care about that, and then people saying the Game Pass is just filler and things like that. So I posted something earlier. Big shout out to my boy Super G, aka the driver. He posted this. He sent it to me, so I posted it, and it was basically there's 27 games that's on Xbox Game Pass that has a 90 score or higher. There's 58 games that has a 85. That has an 85 to an 89. There's 123 games that has a score of 80 to 84. There's 118 games that has 75 to 79. There's 58 games that has 70 to 74. There's 37 games that has 60 to 69 rating. There's 22 games that has 60 to 64. And then there's just 11 games that has a 59 or less. Now, if you put that for what Game Pass has, which Game Pass always talk about 100 games, Game Pass has 457 games right now available. And the majority of those games are higher tier than anything that PlayStation's pushing out from that point, if you want to kind of be like, if you want to be one of those assholes and say it that way, but so I guess I want to be an asshole because I said it, but you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm an asshole. So, but that's how you just got to look at it. If you care about Metacritic that much and you care about the scores, then right here, there's 27 games right now on Game Pass that has a higher score than anything PlayStation has pumped out. That's a 90 this year or starting this generation. So come on, man, stop it. It doesn't make any sense anyway because I'm not a fan of how Metacritic works. Just play the damn games and enjoy it. If it's not a game that's for other people, then it's not for you. Then don't rain on other people's parade because that's just not your bag. Play something else and just keep it moving.
Yo, check this out. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. I gotta say, guys, I really like the super chat. He says, I think PlayStation players are starting to get bored with single player and are ready for some multiplayer games that will last a while. They want our games. Yo, Sir X-Man, dude, that could absolutely be true, especially with a game like Forza, what heavily multiplayer when it comes down to an open world racing game. Now, Crispy, hearing that super chat, yeah, that gotta make you smile, man. Saying, they're hungry for those multiplayer games, bro.
Multiplayer? What?
Yeah. PlayStation fans want multiplayer games now, man.
We don't know what those are on PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last multiplayer exclusive that's come out?
I think it was a second party deal. I think it was Destruction All Stars.
Yeah, Destruction All Stars. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds spectacular.
It was
Dude,
not.
if I had a PS5, I would have been picking up that game day one, bro. I would have, man. I like those types of games.
I mean, you know what?
You know what I hate? I just want to say this real quick. You know what I hate?
$70. Yeah.
Here's what I hate. You have an IP like Twisted Metal, just sitting there and doing nothing. And for PlayStation gamers that actually want a multiplayer exclusive, Twisted Metal's been exclusive to PlayStation for its entire time.
Years.
Why in God's name haven't you touched this? Especially because it's been so long since anybody's experienced a Twisted Metal type game. I mean, the last game I remember playing that was at least close was Vigilante 8. Think about that. I mean, seriously, it's freaking, it's wild, dude.
Read the chat though.
Yeah. The very last one. Did you see it, Cerebral Paul?
Paul don't like what I have to say half the time anyway.
He's only saying that because he probably wants to watch.
You touch yourself.
Give it to me, baby.
That's for dark, K-Mag. Come on. I have the Xbox console exclusive.
That's more for you, man.
Game Pass.
Fast, hard, quick.
Game Pass. I'm never quick. You could ask my girl. I'd bring her down here right now. Yeah. Shut up.
I think this is not safe.
Where'd the crickets come in with that? How'd you do that?
He's magical. He's fucking magical with that fucking soundboard.
Stop
Dude,
it.
he's learned.
But I mean, seriously, like that's really. I mean, that's what I want. Like, I used to play SOCOMs. I used to play even Killzone. Like for multiplayer, was actually a really good game for multiplayer. And
actually, Shadowfall's multiplayer was better than its actual campaign.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I understand. Like, it's not always gonna hit everybody and be like, "Hey, this is the greatest thing in the world." Shut the fuck up. Yes, I did it. I finally said it to somebody. Shut the fuck up. Yes.
Next podcast.
That's Fred's line, man.
Here's what I gotta say about multiplayer. If you don't like the game, you're not gonna like the multiplayer. That's the whole point. But when games like SOCOM and Killzone and all these games that came out, even the fighters like Street Fighter and stuff had really good multiplayer, and then all of a sudden it fucking disappears. It disappears. And not only that, but I have PlayStation centric friends that are like, my buddy's coming up in 2 days from Philly, and he's coming up and he hates the multiplayer on PlayStation. There's a fucking problem. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we're getting to the point where, you know, us that are in this fucking chat or even in this panel look at multiplayer and either we have a love for it or a hate for it. But the ones that have a hate for it, eventually it's going to become a love because you have no choice. Because you look at Fortnite, you look at Warzone, you look at all these free-to-play games, and there's tens of millions of people playing them constantly. There's an undeniableness. And the only thing that PlayStation doesn't have going for them is fucking multiplayer. Like, do it. You have the IPs.
Well,
You've used
By
these
your
IPs.
by your logic, you're basically stating that single player games will go away completely, which I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, it sounded like it.
I mean, here's the problem that I have. Okay, there are certain games that have a great single player and a great multiplayer. And I've played many of them, even on PlayStation. I mean, SOCOM 2 is one of the best single-player experiences I've ever had. And then I went to the multiplayer, and it was fucking amazing as well. Okay? So what I'm saying is, it's like, stop. They had the lineage, even though they didn't have, you know, the DSO and all this shit that Xbox was coming out with. They had the lineage because they had the people playing the fucking game. And why not use those IPs at the least? At the least. Not new ones, not ones that you've come out with after that fact, but at least use one of those and say, hey, we're back into multiplayer as an exclusive. And they haven't fucking done that. And it pisses me off.
Oh, I mean, you know, when it comes down to it, I think you look at the portfolio that PlayStation has when it comes to single player, multiplayer. Like, you know, Xbox is doing. They did the same thing when it came to their portfolio. They looked at, you know, what they needed to kind of like diversify, you know, what, you know, and kind of really have a bunch of different types of games in their portfolio. I think when it comes to PlayStation, and I think they're addressing that because, you know, they signed a deal with that development studio that has ex-Bungie and ex-developers that worked on Halo and stuff like that, working on a multiplayer game for PlayStation as well. So I think they are addressing it. But again, you know, the same narrative that we hear from the PlayStation extremists. Yeah, they signed that deal, but it's really early development, so it's not going to be out for like 4 years. And then I'm not going to do what the PlayStation extremists would do and start stretching it out. Could be 5, maybe 6. Maybe by 2030 it's going to come out. Like, I'm not going to do that. 3 to 4 years development time, and then we'll see what that game has to offer. And hopefully PlayStation realizes that, they want to get that multiplayer. Single player is not going to go away, but multiplayer is where you get that replay value. You can have one of the greatest single player games, buy it, you can go through the game, it could be absolutely incredible. How many times are you really going to play that single player game, through its entirety? Maybe 3, 4 times maybe in the story or whatnot. But at least with the multiplayer, you have, especially if they have content that keeps going into the multiplayer, which Xbox is definitely all about that. You have replay value for years on that one game, really getting kind of like your money's worth and getting your entertainment and stuff like that from that. So I think Sony's, at least recognizing that there is an issue there. But guys, I do want to switch it over and talk about cloud gaming real quick. And again, shout out to K Mega for putting this article in the DM, because it was really, really interesting. And I'm scrolling to the top, and it says Microsoft will build native Xbox games for the cloud, and the woman behind Portal will lead. They hired this woman. I'm looking for her name right now. She was the lead on developing the game Portal, and she was hired by Google for Google Stadia to make strictly cloud-based games that were in the cloud that would take advantage of the multiple servers and stuff like that. Those were the games that Google Stadia was claiming that you would get experiences and graphics that you cannot get on console. So that's what they were claiming. She was heading that whole thing. Now, of course, we all know what happened with Stadia. It's not dead, but it's not necessarily jumping around, kicking and stuff like that right now. It's really kind of, I guess you can say Google has put it on the back burner, the way that they have done with so many projects that they have kind of put out there at first that didn't really take off, and they're very quiet with it. I don't see any more like Stadia commercials or anything like that. So for Stadia fans out there, that's got to be concerning, because if you invested in that whole thing, it doesn't look good. But again, I'm looking for a name. Hold on.
Who the hell
Kim
is
Swift.
playing Stadia,
Kim Swift.
bro? Come on.
Kim Swift.
Yeah. So they hired Kim Swift, and with hiring Kim Swift, basically stating that she's already working on cloud-based games that you strictly get from the cloud, take advantage of the servers. Not only that, if you look at what Xbox is doing with the cloud, they're updating their server blades as well. They are going from the Xbox One S server blades, so the architecture for Xbox One S, they're clearing those out, and they are putting the Xbox Series X architecture into those blades to be used for cloud gaming, which is a massive improvement. And that's one of the reasons why, if you have an original Xbox One, you'll still be able to play like Starfield when it comes out, games that are exclusive to the Series XS to this generation. You'll be able to play those games via the cloud on your original Xbox One, if if you still have one and you don't really jump into the next generation or whatnot, which I think is absolutely incredible. For the people who don't jump up there, they'll still be able to play those games.
Or can't get it.
Yeah,
let's be serious.
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, you can't, if you can't get it, you can't get it. I mean, that's the way I looked at it for a long time.
But it seems like, again, other companies have thought about this. Other companies have invested on getting experiences that you can only get through cloud gaming. Now, unfortunately, the one that really came out and tried to spearhead it right off the bat and kind of rushed in, kind of like head first, was Google. And we all know if it doesn't take off right off the bat with Google, what do? They kill it.
Cancel it.
They kill
They throw
it.
it to the bushes.
To the bushes, baby. To the bushes. But now, with Kim Swift over at Xbox Game Studios, and we see Microsoft's kind of like dedication to gaming, we see that even with Windows 11, they're integrating xCloud right into Windows 11, the Xbox app, right in the structure of Windows 11. They are really putting gaming like right in the center of Microsoft as a corporation, because let's be honest, Windows is, that's Microsoft's baby right there, and to have all that integrated right into Windows 11 tells you how important gaming is to Microsoft. So let me start with Predator on this one. Pred, they're developing games strictly for the cloud. Like I want to know what that means to you. And what do you think that means for the community in general? And I want to ask you what you think about the push here with the upgrade in server blades, the ability to stream this generation games to the original Xbox One stuff. I want to ask you, like, what do you think about what they're doing with the cloud and how that is gonna factor in moving forward in gaming? You know what I'm saying? What do you think this is going to do for gaming as a whole?
I really don't even think too much about it, to be honest with you, just because of the way I game. Like, the cloud thing isn't really, like, as long as the shit works. Like, I'm a simple guy. My shit just needs to work when I play it. I want to see how it's implemented, because last time we heard all this cloud talk and games and stuff like that, we got Crackdown. And I know they use a little bit of cloud in Titanfall. They're using it in other games now too. But I just remember that experience with Crackdown and all the stuff they said they're going to be able to do with that game utilizing the cloud. When the game came out, it didn't do any of that stuff, and the multiplayer didn't seem like it did. So at least on the scale, they mentioned it at that point. So this is the direction the gaming world is going to go in at some point. It's going to be not necessarily all fully cloud based. I don't want to make people think like consoles are going away or anything like that, but they're going to start utilizing it a little bit more. Like, we've got we got Xbox games now we can play through our phones in the cloud, stuff like that. So like they're investing in something for the future, and I'm perfectly okay with that, because everything is not going to stay the exact same that it was 10 years ago. So they got to push the envelope and push gaming forward and try new things. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. I mean, like you mentioned before, I think it was Google that tried it. They jumped out there headstrong, and they weren't ready. They didn't have the infrastructure set up. And I think if anybody's going to do it and make it successful, it's going to be Microsoft. So, like Sparhawk? Yeah, they're using certain parts of games in the cloud. I get that. Like I said, they did Titanfall. They used parts of that game in the cloud. Like, I think the procedural generation of the characters, is that right, for Titanfall? The original Titanfall?
Yeah.
Somebody? Like the enemies, the procedural
the enemy
generation.
AI, like the robots and stuff like that were from the cloud.
And that was like, besides that in Crackdown, that was like the first time I really heard it being used. And I know they're using it in Forza. I mean, they've used it, and we may not even know they're using it sometimes, but I know they're using it in other games as well. So, I mean, like, it happens. Like, if they can actually offload some of that stuff that we would get in a traditional game into the cloud to save, bandwidth, save fucking space on hard drives, like, I mean, I'm perfectly okay with it. Again, I just want my shit to work when I play it. Like, the games we've gotten the last couple of years, like at launch, have just been completely broken, and I'm looking at you, Cyberpunk, like, to the point where, like, I mean, like, they wouldn't even put Cyberpunk on the PlayStation Store, like, and I was begging for this game. I got my 3080 because I really wanted to play this game with the most enhanced, because all the talk that we got about it and the game came out.
You got a limited edition 1X.
I got the limited edition 1X, and I got a 3080. So I got it on Xbox and PC, and I have not even fucking played that game because it was so fucking broken.
At least you got a better version on PC, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, they'll patch it at some point one of these days, but by then it may be too late. Like, everybody's kind of forgotten about that game. Think about it. But if they're going to do something like this, I really hope they test it. really hope they put the work into getting it to work properly, because it's all it's going to take is it to fail, and people are going to be like, "Fuck this cloud shit," like, and they're never going to want to touch it again. Um, so I see this as the direction that we're going to go at some point. How fast we get there is a different story, but I would love to see it utilized properly and see what they can do with it. And I love tech, so if they can get it to work, I'm cool with it. But if it's gonna flop, I think a lot of people are just gonna be like, nope. They're gonna wipe their hands of the shit and just go, take the shit off my game. Give me an option to not use it.
Yeah, what I think here, because when they're talking about a cloud game, it's a game that's really built to just be in the cloud.
Just be in the cloud.
You're not downloading it or anything like that. If somehow, some way, they can make an experience, both graphically and gameplay, kind of like story, immersive wise, that really will catch an audience there, like that must-have game. Again, we always talk about that when there's new technology and they're building a game on it. They're like, well, you need that one must-have IP to really put that focus on that platform that they're developing the game on. It's kind of like a tried and true kind of like process. They make that one game that has experiences that, just that one console can't process. It needs all those servers. It needs all those blades to get the game running and to get those experiences. If they can pull that off with, Mrs. Swift over here and kind of like her team at Xbox Game Studios, then, they are ahead of the industry by miles when it comes down to, something that a lot of people say, yeah, that's going to be there in the future. It might not be ready exactly right now, but they, Microsoft and Xbox would definitely be in the driver's seat if they can get those experiences kind of like up and running. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. I do like, I'm a console gamer. I don't necessarily, I don't stream like games to my phone or anything like that right now. I do think it's a really cool technology for people who do that, and I'm not going to ignore that and be like, well, screw xCloud because I don't stream games on my phone or tablet or something like that. Like, I know there's people out there that really do use that feature and enjoy it. So for those guys, again, Phil Spencer wants every type of gamer kind of gaming on the Xbox platform and doing stuff like this. Like, it just seems like Xbox is leading the way here, and they're definitely going to be in the driver's seat as this technology develops and becomes more standardized in gaming. So it's really cool to me. But I don't know, Crispy, what do you think about this, bro? An all cloud-based game being developed at Xbox Game Studios. They grabbed the lead over from Google Stadia. She's now working with Xbox. And of course they're upgrading the server blades to Xbox Series X. A huge upgrade there. What do you think about like the future in cloud gaming, man?
It's funny because Xbox, we know Xbox for just kind of being like, here it is, deal with it. And, for the cloud gaming aspect, they've almost been like, it's still in beta. It's still in beta. It's still... Dude, you want to talk about, like, so long where you're sitting there in 2018 being like, oh, okay, this started. Oh, it's still in beta. Oh, 3 years later, it's still in beta. I mean, the one thing I have to say is they're taking a different approach. And I almost feel like as soon as they saw what the Series X is capable of, they said, we have something here. Now, people can disagree. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not a tech guy, but I mean, I play on the Series X and it's like night and day, which is absurd to me. And then I look at the damn thing and I'm like, if I wasn't a gamer, would I like this? Probably not. I really wouldn't. But then you go and look at somebody like, just this random kid that's grown up with the cell phone in their hand. And you go and say, okay, You don't know what Halo is. You played your Fortnites, your PUBGs, whatever on mobile. Okay, totally different experience. And then you go and say, well, they're putting money into interfaces on the phone where you don't have to pick up a controller. They're doing all of these things. It's back end. They're not announcing it for a reason, because when they do, I hope that it works correctly. And that's where I go with Brad. Like, dude, it has to work correctly. And for them to, kind of put out there that, they could, take an Xbox One user and say, you know what? You can get these new games, but it's going to be used in the cloud in some way, shape, or form. That's almost a test subject, because at the least you get these new games. I mean, that's the way I look at it. And I'm like, man, like, they're kind of going all over the place. It's even like they kind of shadow released Windows 11. Think about that. I mean, they're doing things that I almost feel it's like exactly what Phil, and this is why I love Phil, Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer. I fucking love that guy, because he's a gamer and he looks at what the consumer wants. And what the consumer wants to be able to play whatever the frick they want to play. And he has been adamant about that. And it has worked now. Now, finally, you start seeing why he keeps saying this. And he hasn't changed his tone at all. He continues to push that.
That is true.
And that's what I feel like. You know what? They want to reach 3 billion. And you know what? He might have sat in Satya and right in front of his face and been like, we want to reach 3 billion gamers. Here's how we do it. And at first, Satya is probably like, that's not going to work. But as it's coming to fruition, you start realizing that, his mentality is what a gamer wants. And it doesn't have to be necessarily the console gamer. It could be a PC gamer. Mm-hmm. It could be a mobile gamer. And I think that's going to start with Halo, to be honest. I think you're going to see it on mobile very quickly. And you're going to see it not just in the xCloud and everything else. You're going to see it on mobile in some way, shape, or form.
If they do Halo Infinite on mobile and not just like
the multiplayer.
They do that, man. K Mega, you I know you're licking your lips right now, because it's like, oh, mobile players in an arena in Halo, that's extra.
But you
kills,
think
bro.
about it,
extra kills.
But
bro.
you think no, and I get what you're saying. Like that'll be the same way. Like I played mobile players in Gears. You know what I'm saying? And it's too easy. It's not even fair. You know what I'm saying? But if they are willing to go in there and they're willing to enjoy, I mean, this happens in Fortnite and PUBG all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going against PC players because it's all crossplay. And they're like, well, what's this? And, they can say what they want, but they're playing on their phone. So they don't care. They already know that it's not capable of what a Xbox or a PC is capable of. So they already know that going in. Now, maybe they deny it for a period of time, and maybe they talk shit about it, but it's a fact. It is what it is. But if you use xCloud to go back and say, you know what? You're at the least, your realm is at least similar to what these guys are playing on.
Yeah, well, it gives you an option to jump in and play on it. And let's be real here. Like, we know in terms of advantage, disadvantage when it comes to like playing games on mobile. But you also got to be real. There are some people that play on mobile with like touch screen, like you were talking about,
and they wreck people.
They wreck people. They are in it, in it to win it on that mobile device. And dude, you're absolutely right.
And that's let me just finish off. That's where I go and say
absolutely right. But if you want to cut me on, go ahead.
No, I still love you, bot. It's okay. One thing I'll say is that's where I go and say the crossplay shit is bullshit, because my prime example is that if you're playing on OG Xbox One controller and I'm playing on a Elite Series 2 controller, is that cheating?
Well, you have an advantage. Think not. You have an advantage. That's for.
But I absolutely yes, I do. I agree with that completely, and that's my point. And it's just like you go and say he's using mouse and keyboard. Well, there's plenty of times where if you don't know how to play the damn game, I go and say, "What are you doing?" And I try to help that person that's on mouse and keyboard. Okay, once they learn what I know. If they're knowledgeable, they'll go and say, I want to be better at this game. Let me hear what this dude has to say that's, got this higher level or something like that. And that's where I go and feel about games. Like, at the end of the day, we could sit here and be like, oh, this is crossplay. How dare you do that? You know what I mean? The only one that's not really doing crossplay besides Nintendo, because Nintendo is kind of like, and they do a little bit, but it's not the same because their infrastructure is not the same. But PlayStation just refuses. They have gone out and said that, we charge money and shit like that, and they haven't rebutted it. They just ran with it, and nobody's fucking said anything about it. It's like, dude, Microsoft ain't charging money. If anything, they're probably giving these motherfuckers money. Okay? So I don't understand it. Like, people want to play on the platform they want to play on. And I'll tell you right now, if you're 12, 13 years old right now, you probably want to play on your damn phone. That's what it is.
At least sometimes.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. And we go and sit here and you'd be like, okay, your girlfriend or your son or your daughter, go and play on your Xbox, and that's the only one you have because you can't buy a bunch of them. Well, guess what? Xbox is giving the option to go and be like, hey, I'm going to go on xCloud, and I'm gonna play them, and I'm going to beat them up with a phone.
I'm going to win, and I'm going to tell them that when I win, I have to take over the console and put your ass on mobile, yeah?
But I'm not saying that's the truth. The truth is you play where you want to play, and I feel like they're just doing all the right things right now. Like, play where you want to play, and they don't care. Like, yes, you have Starfield as an exclusive. You have Redfall as an exclusive. I get it. I get that it hurts your being that, you could be a Sony person that loves Bethesda. I get it. I get it totally. But at the same time, they went out and paid $7.5 billion. Stop, dude. Just enjoy what you want. If you don't want to buy an Xbox Series, console, don't. Okay? But don't hate on us for loving what we're getting.
Yo, and I think the biggest thing here, like that you said a lot of quality things, Crispy. I think the biggest thing is when you're talking about Phil Spencer talking about gamers, because we're in a community where gamers, like, people just automatically think console gamers. And you're right. Phil Spencer is thinking about all gamers, gaming community, whether it's PC, whether it's mobile, console, all of that put together. And he's trying to make the Xbox platform attractive to every one of them. And that is a huge feat to try to, like, take on. And I think Xbox is doing a great job with that right now. And of course, Phil Spencer is the head of that. So, like, I give him a shout out. Mad props to him for what he's doing there. So when you hear him talking about gamers, remember, yeah, you're a console gamer and you are a part of that conversation. You're not the only part of that conversation, though. It's all types of gamers, from the casual to the hardcore, from the PC to the mobile to the console. He's talking about all of us. All right, and that's their thought process, moving forward. And I'm not gonna knock them for that. If I was in this business, I'd be doing the same freaking thing, man. So shout out to them for that. But let's see here. K Mega. Mm-hmm. Dude, you're the one who shared this article with me again. Thank you. That was an awesome read. It wasn't too long. They hit the points. They kind of let you know that Microsoft is really in it when it comes to cloud gaming. Now they're talking about developing a completely cloud-based game with Mrs. Swift there from Stadia, now Xbox Game Studios. What do you think about this move here, developing a completely cloud-based game? And what do you think about what they're doing with the server blade upgrades and really going in with xCloud and improving that for the gamers out there, man?
Well, it's just going to show what Xbox has been wanting to do for a really long time. I mean, if you go back and you look at what they said, there was a big billboard that was on the that said Xbox One is beta tested for the future. And nobody didn't really understand that. And then when we started to hear about like they were going to do, some kind of streaming service, a lot of people laughed it off. A lot of people did this and that. The thing with me with console gamers, just gamers in general, a lot of us, we see all this great tech around us, but we tend to not believe that tech is implemented in gaming or could be implemented in gaming. Case in point, like I'm looking and I'm seeing these commercials with these electric cars, right? And I'm looking at like, these, the Cadillacs, the new Lincolns, these Nissans. I'm like, well, what is going there? All electric, right? Like, I mean, and who would have, and we're looking at this like, oh, well, people had this assumption that I seen what was like a F-150,
the Lightning,
all electric. Yeah. And it was pulling train cars, like it was pulling like 1 million pounds or some crazy shit, right? Like, and so like people were thinking. I remember back in the 90s when they first started talking about the electric car, right? And other things can't even go past 45 miles per hour. Well, I mean, things have definitely changed.
Yeah, look at the Porsche, the all-electric Porsche. That thing is so freaking fast. Yeah.
Like it trips me out about how like some people have this mindset that gaming can't propel, or that like these things aren't possible because maybe some people don't want it to be possible, or the fact that just whatever that they deal with or listen to or however, whatever, that they feel like it's just some kind of gimmick, right? Listen,
maybe it's a get off my lawn mentality. Like I grew up with it like this.
It could be right, and that's never going to work. And gaming would never got to the point that it's at now with that mentality. Exactly. Because as you see, PlayStation with their whole talk about exclusivity and console sales and all of that, they have over here taken a page or hell a book from what Microsoft is doing now. And the one thing that also, like when some people are thinking too far ahead, just like with Microsoft, where they were all about, trying to progress, do things that gamers weren't prepared for with all digital games, things like that, all digital consoles, stuff like that. They didn't check the temperature in the room to see how many people were there. And so PlayStation capitalized on people who are just like you were saying, the guys that, don't get off my lawn type of gamer, because they are all about the traditional way of gaming. And they were trying to enforce something a little bit different that most gamers weren't accustomed to. But also, we're at an age, a lot of us, a lot of the listeners, a lot of people, on this panel, we're all in our late 30s or our 40s now, and we're kind of the tweeners, right? Because we still looking at these enhancements, but there's some things that some of us is just like, I don't really care about that. That's not my forte. But that's not saying what our kids is like. Our kids be like, oh, this is right up my wheelhouse. And some things that some people didn't really know is that the Switch has cloud versions of games. Check it out. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's in Japan only, but it's running off the cloud. Control is cloud based. That's everywhere. Hitman 3, that's cloud based everywhere. Resident Evil 7, that's cloud based only in Japan. And then there's more games out there that's going to be more cloud based. And the crazy thing about it, there's a lot of people that don't even know it. And especially, if it's one of those things where, people are, they went thinking like, well, now you're talking about the Switch. The Switch, how is that even possible? It doesn't have the technology. It doesn't, the console is so far behind. Well, that is one of the reasons why they are putting these type of games on the Switch, because if you look at The Witcher and how that ran compared to what the competition, how it ran there, it wasn't even, but if you have it on the cloud, and if somebody has a stable phone, if they got a good connection, or if they got a good service, that game is going to run even better on their Switch going through the cloud than it would if it was running off of the Switch itself. So that tells you right there that this is the real deal. A lot of people didn't know this, but it is the truth. Go look it up. Go check it out. You'll see the names, and there's actually more games there too. But then there's some other games that I know that didn't make any sense. But this. Go look it up. Go Google it. Go to MSN, whatever you want to do. Go check it out. But you'll see it. So what this is telling me is also, there's another article that came out last week that I kind of want to talk. I want to talk about on GRG in more detail. And I think we did talk about it a little bit. Was that they were going to start putting these games on the Xbox One. They was going to start using the cloud for Xbox One games, because that's how some of those games that can't be ran on the Xbox One as is, they can use them through the cloud.
Yeah.
So that tells you right there is that, okay, so if you remember back a couple of years ago where we were trying to we were trying to like, well, how are they going to do this? Like, how many Xboxes are they going to have out there in the wild without confusing people? You see what I'm saying? Because, because we didn't even know what the name of the Series X was going to be, or the Series S was going to be at the time. And so we're like, well, how are they going to have like a $99 version of Xbox? Or how could you push the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X when we know eventually the hardware, these games with the hardware is going to be, it's going to go past last gen. Well, if you start putting those games on the cloud, and there's some people out there that just don't care like that, they just feel like, well, you know what? I still got my Xbox, or I see an Xbox on sale, an Xbox One on sale. I can just go ahead and and I got a good internet connection. Well, I can go ahead and I can play Hellblade 2 on this Xbox One, because it's going to be played through the cloud. Now, for a person that don't have no good internet and they still have the Xbox One S, well, your ass out of luck, of course. But also, with 5G, which kind of changes everything. Once 5G gets implemented to everybody, people are going to have a lot more. People could either tether and things like that. And then also that might help with going to the future, what Prayer was talking about with our file spaces, because damn, like games are so big, and and like getting stuff for our memory and things like that. It's more like Call of Duty's taking and Lemmy didn't believe me until we went over it. I got like 600 and some gigs that I'm just dedicating alone on Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Warzone, and the latest Call of Duty. That's way too much space for just 3 games. Way too much. 600 and something. That's crazy. Just doesn't make any sense, right? And I'm almost on the verge of deleting all that shit and just saying I'm done. But I got a few friends that still want to play it. But if you can do something through the cloud to where you can alleviate some of that, then that would be a major win as well. People got to start stepping out of the 20th, it's got to step into the 21st century and see where gaming is going, and use that to the advantage, instead of keep saying that I don't want this type of technology at all because it's not going to work. It's not going to do this. It's not going to do. How many times have we had egg on our face where every time that we said something wasn't going to happen, and it happens? xCloud runs fantastic. xCloud, I played xCloud not too long ago because I wanted to test it, because I thought my wife had a procedure and I thought I was going to be in a car for a long time because you couldn't get in the hospital or whatever, or I assumed that you couldn't get in the hospital or whatever. But so I was basically like, oh, let me go ahead and test xCloud. xCloud is playing a hell of a lot better than what it was playing back then, and it was running fine back then. When I was the last time that I played it. So if the technology is going to keep on increasing and getting better, how is it that it's not going to be beneficial to everyone in the gaming space? So again, I don't know what kind, what kind of game that they'll be making, what Kim Swift will be making, but rest assured that it most likely will be something that will not only be for mobile, but it'll be for the Xbox One and it'll be for the Xbox Series X. And it's kind of, again, Xbox is doing this thing where they've been saying they said this before the consoles came out. We're going to have something for the premium fan. We're going to have something for the mid-tier fan, and we're going to have something for the low-end fan, for the fan who just want to play the games the way that they want to play it. And we already have that with the Series S, and we have that with the Series X. So if you have the gamer that just wants the most simplistic way, but they want a game and they want it just work, if they got a good connection, then shit, they're good to go. They can still play it on their on their games like that. So pretty much the only thing that we have to probably worry about is like third party and how they do things, pretty much like with, when me and Sir X-Man and a couple of others who don't have a Series X or S yet want to play Mortal Kombat 11 or Samurai Showdown and a couple of other games. We can't cross play together. They've changed that. And so those will be what the third party will do. But any games that's going to be coming from Microsoft, I guarantee that those games will be played anywhere and we can all have fun. Let's just say like whenever that Killer Instinct 2 comes out, I guarantee you that game will be a play anywhere title that can be played on a PC, on your mobile, on your Xbox Series S, X, S, or your Xbox One. So that's the future, and that's what keeps people invested into the brand, because they don't feel like that they're not left behind. And there's a lot of gamers who do wait for a long time before they move over to the next generation. So I think it's a real smart move for Microsoft.
Yeah, nice, brother. And again, when it comes to like the future, Xbox has been doing this for years. Xbox has been doing like the future of gaming for quite a long time. You look at what they've done with Xbox Live and kind of like the chat system, stuff like that. Back in the OG Xbox days, like, and they have, putting a hard drive into the system. They have definitely pushed the industry forward. And, again, I might not be the biggest fan of, cloud gaming or anything like that, but hearing about a game that will utilize like all these servers, that's not going to take up space on my hard drive on my console, and it will give an experience that you couldn't necessarily get running it off of one console. I'm interested to see what that would be. And even though I don't stream games on my phone or tablet or anything like that, doesn't mean that I can't applaud them, for the gamers out there who do that, for them with the whole kind of like what RG Viper X said in the chat. He said, "No gamer left behind."
Right. That's exactly what I said. Yeah. So every type of
gamer, on the Xbox platform.
That's the PC method, and I'm happy about that, because if you think about what PlayStation should have been with PlayStation Now, they would have already been probably devastating the market. Not only with having the I wouldn't say, well, I can't say for myself personally that I felt like the PlayStation 4 was a better console than the Xbox One, but game-wise, yes, overall. And then when you look at for what they had with the cloud, with the cloud service with PS Now, they were the first ones to do it on console. Just imagine what they would have done if they actually wanted to put money into it and think about the future. They always just thinking about making extra money right here and now and not investing to the future. And that's what's hurting PlayStation Now right now at this point.
I got you, bro. Like, it's really interesting to me, just to see where everything is going. Dark, man, I got to get your opinions on this. A full kind of like cloud-based game being developed by Xbox Game Studios. The head of kind of like Google Stadia's division for cloud-based gaming is now over Xbox Game Studios. They are upgrading the server blades to Series X. Dude, what do you think about what Xbox is doing here in terms of cloud gaming moving into the future?
Well, hopefully it'll be better than Crackdown 3.
Ooh, man, so many shots. Yo,
No.
the campaign was awesome, man.
No.
Hey, I would.
I
I'm
like
sorry.
the first one.
I
but
don't want to. I don't want
didn't
to. I'm sorry. I just want to say this right fast. I would hope for Microsoft, since Microsoft has been making all the right steps here, especially going into this gen. I would love for them to bring Crackdown and actually show what their vision was. That like they did, never give up, like they did with the Master Chief Collection. I would love for them to do the same thing with Crackdown.
That'd be insane. That'd be a completely different multiplayer than what they came out with, man.
Right.
But all right, Dark, it's your turn, bro.
Sorry, Dark. I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
No, it's all good. Honestly, I don't really have much to say on it, man. I mean, I'm like, like you said, Bot. I've always been more of a console person. I've never really been, mobile or anything that has to do with streaming or cloud and
Dude,
things
if
like
you're
that. I've
streaming
never.
anything to your phone, it's Predator's only fans, brother.
It's true. Can't get enough. um, I personally just, I don't know. I mean, it's a good direction that they're going. I mean, they've kind of worked in this cloud realm for quite a while, and I think they're just gonna get better with it. It takes time, man, to get better at things, especially something that you're not too familiar with. And if they're gonna build a game that is completely cloud based, that's a huge step for them. And I think at the end of the day, hopefully it's a good game. If not, the next game will probably be better, and because I know Xbox, they're not gonna give up on it. They've invested so much into it that they're just not. It's not gonna. They're just always gonna have something that has to do with cloud, or they're always gonna have, um, you know, like K Mega said, I don't think they'll even give up on the Crackdown franchise. I mean, yeah, it may seem like it right now, and it may seem like it like they've given up on Killer Instinct. I don't think they've given up on it. I think they've just put it to the side for now, and I think they're working on trying to get it to the right developer and the right person to create the game. And that's the same thing with their cloud-based game right now. I think they're just looking for the best studio to work on it, and hopefully it turns out. And if not, I mean, they're going to continue to invest in cloud, because I mean that's where they want to go, and they want people to be able to play everywhere and anywhere. And yeah.
And yeah, pretty much.
I just don't really have much to say on it, because I mean I'm not too familiar with the article that was put out. I didn't really invest into that one.
Yeah, well, Dark, I really like the article that you put in there about how Sony was sending out invitations.
Oh yeah.
For people to buy a PlayStation 5, but they were sending them out to people who have already purchased a PlayStation 5. And I was like, when it came down to it, that was right there to the end in terms of the topics, because you guys know we can't go through all the topics that get put into the DM and stuff, but that was like right there, man, because like that would have been so fun to talk about, because like how do you do that? It's like, yeah, we know you invested $400 or $500, but how about throwing in another $400 or $500 and getting two systems?
Well, I was saying,
not to mention people who still can't find one.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I was thinking about doing it just so that I could give it to either my pops or to my nephew. So I mean, that's the
save your money.
Hold on, but we've
like,
heard it on the show.
They were like, no, but wait.
We've heard it on the show. Dark has called Predator Daddy. So, are you trying to buy Pred a PlayStation 5? Is that what you said?
No.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
Thanks, Boo.
Yes.
I didn't hear Xbox name in that PlayStation 5 discussion either. That's a little awkward.
Hold
When
up.
I
Wait a
when
minute.
when I refer to pops, I mean my actual dad.
You know, your actual dad would be so proud of you if he listened every Thursday to this show. I just want to let you know that. So
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh man. And guys, on that note, because we only got about 7 minutes or so before we got to wind this down, I do have to go to work tomorrow. For people who do deal with me besides the podcast, you know, I have been working all week. I have been promoted to machine operator, and I have been training how to run machines at the, you know, my job. And
excuses.
And they just decided that, you know, they're gonna make me train on the 2 days off that I would normally have for this week. So I have been working, but I gotta say it's not too bad because I got out 3 hours.
Because the fucking outros. Let's go.
I got out 3 hours early yesterday. I got out an hour early.
Is that how come you dunked fucking Fred in Sea of Thieves there, buddy? Huh?
It's
is
part.
That why?
That is part of the reason because my main reason was, you know, my son asked me to do a raid with him. He has been absolutely like supportive of me. Like he's made dinner the last couple days and stuff like that. He made
hot dogs.
Nah, he made some killer cheeseburgers. They were absolutely huge tonight, man. Like his mom's really bougie when it comes to making food, so he's like all fresh herbs and spices and do this and do that, and he had a cast iron skillet that he put down to cook the burgers on, and like he went all out. So
I'm still trying to figure out who's the dad and who's the son here. I don't even.
I am
know,
definitely
dude.
the dad because I'm 42 and he's 17. So
I don't believe
age is only a number.
He's 17. He's like 6'5". He's like pushing like 300.
Yeah, I'm about to reach there and stop all three of y'all.
And he's going to own you like today.
But yo, huge shout out to the chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. That is right. This is the next podcast. We are live 8 p.m. every Thursday. Of course, that is prime time. Yo, huge shout out for all the support, everybody coming in and checking out the show. If you haven't done it yet, definitely share this show out on social media. Let people know that we are live here every Thursday. I swear, if even half of your gaming friends check out this show, you know they're going to be entertained, and you know eventually they are going to be in here live in the chat with you guys, just cutting it up, joking around, watching Christopher Hart get muted and timed out for multiple times from Predator.
He got timed out so much he left.
I saw one of the messages. He's like, "What did I say?" And Pred muted that. Like he took out the "What did I say?" and then he timed him out right after that too. I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, huge shout out to all you guys. Of course, RG Viper, everybody in the chat, Y9 Power, Eternal Umbra, all you guys that are here every week. Thank you so much for the continued support. You know, we will continue to do this show, and I just want to see the show grow more and more. I would love to see more people in the chat, and that's one of the best things about doing this podcast is checking out the chat. You know, everybody either joking around, great points and opinions on the topics. It's a lot of fun. This show is as much your show as it is ours, and I thank you so much for the support. But like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we gotta get into the outros, and I'm gonna start with Predator because he was already complaining that we need to get to the outros as I was trying to get there. So Predator, what do you got for us, bro?
Nothing. I think someone asked me to come on a podcast next week, and I totally forgot which one it was.
So there might be a special guest.
I might be special guesting somewhere, but I can't remember what show it was.
I've got
no, it was.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
It was Noof's show.
Oh, that's the perfect voice then.
Good morning, Xbox.
You are mine now.
No,
you belong to me.
That's Noof talking in his
Game After Dark. Yeah, that's what
that's perfect.
Yeah, because he does that.
Perfect. Yeah, because he does this. Arnold. So let's do this one more time.
I've got news for you. You are mine now. You belong to me.
All right, so that's all you had to say, huh?
It's not set in stone yet. He did ask me if I told me I can come on whenever, so I might do a show this week coming up, and obviously I'll be back here next week with you guys. So
Nice.
love you.
Nice. And
OnlyFans.
since you're gonna be on Gaming After Dark, you gotta promote your OnlyFans hard. If you get on there, man. I'm just saying. I think the demographic there, you'll break records on your site, man. I'm just saying. I'm just something to think about. But Crispy going in tonight. Like I don't know if you guys. I think the people who come here every week, they are definitely getting used to that, man. You go off the chain. You wear your heart on your sleeve when it comes to these topics, as always, man. It is a lot of fun going. I try to go back and forth with you, man, but there are points in time where you're like, I'm just finishing what I'm going to say. I'm going to talk right over you, Xbox. I don't care about your question. I'm just going to do it like I want to.
You still cut me off at times when it's needed to be done.
Are we getting some white on white?
No, actually, I just gave him a compliment, asshole. I love the last bow.
Yeah, for real. That was the cherry on top, man.
I got scared. I thought we were gonna have some black on white crime. I was gonna be like,
No, that's
No,
not
that
good.
causes
That's not good. That's gonna cause issues.
K-Mega always whoops my ass in MK11. Always.
Oh, you know what? I mean, that is partially true, but you have beaten me. You have beaten me a few times too. So, brother, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to.
This is why I love this motherfucker. See that?
Yeah.
Well, you got to give him that compliment first. If you say, "Hey, K Mega, I whooped your ass the last time we played," then he's gonna be like, "Oh no."
That's K Mega right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Crispy, what do you got for us for an outro, brother?
At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28 Xbox Live. There's no BWB tomorrow. He is on hiatus for the week, and you can find me on the Retro Renegades 7 p.m. Tuesday nights, and of course back here on the next podcast 8 p.m. prime time.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, I love when you go prime time, and you say it differently every time you say it, man. And it's always perfect, brother. Thank you so much. Let's go to the West Coast. The mullet wearing gamer, of course. If you guys don't know, you got to follow him on Twitter because he did put out a picture of himself. So if you want to get a face behind the voice, man, you gotta go over to his Twitter channel. And you're gonna have to scroll through the media a little bit. It was a couple weeks back, but I think you guys will be able to see it. But Dark,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. Yo, Mizzle, what is up, brother? But yo, Dark, what do you got for us for an outro, bro?
Well, first off, you guys can actually see me on the Gaming Beyond the Box last night. I actually went on cam, so you guys can actually see me on there. So that's the most recent sighting of the Dark Otter.
He was brushing his mullet the entire time.
Something like that. But yeah, man, you guys can find me on Twitter at Darkonimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name, man. And as I will say this, I'll be out for 2 weeks. I'm getting a colonoscopy. So, I got to heal from that.
Guys, he will be gone for 2 weeks because he needs a operation to remove a plastic carrot from his anus.
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that to you, Dark.
Thanks, Daddy. Appreciate it.
Oh, that's 2 weeks of coming up with reasons why he's not
going
to
to
be here. This is going to be great, man. I think, guys, we're going to have to brainstorm in the DM.
I get no respect. I mean, when fucking Crispy leaves,
must add.
it's all like, It's like, oh, Crispy, he's hurting right now, and then me, it's like, oh, he's a fucking, he's fucking getting a colonoscopy, or fucking, he's got
getting a
fucking,
colonoscopy through his nose.
yeah, some shit like that.
Because I don't believe that for a second.
Hold on.
I thought I cleaned that ass out last time I saw you. Like,
And last but certainly not least, the man who has been
hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Love that one. Absolutely love that one. But the man who's been with me from the beginning, not only is he a YouTube friend, a gamer, but man, he's definitely a friend in real life. Really helped me through some tough times. As well as the rest of the panel. Maybe not Pred so much, but the rest of the panel. No, I'm just playing. Pred's been there for me too as well. But K-Mega, you got a long list, man. That Dead Sea Scroll, so you might as well just roll that out and start letting people know what's going on with you, your channel, GRG, streaming, foot massages, all that good stuff, brother.
Yes, I need a foot massage. That would sound so good right now. But yeah, you can check out your boy out here on Twitter at
KMega405.
Yes, and then also the Devin the Gamer will return next week. I thought we was gonna come this week, but Don in this whole house situation, he's getting a new house. I've never seen. Listen. This is first world problems. The man is getting a brand new home, getting all the luxurious things to it. You know what I'm saying? The jacuzzi bath, his and her bath. You know what I'm saying? The suicide doors. He's got different rooms.
Suicide doors in the house.
Yeah, man, he's got all types of shit going on, man. He's got 3 stories. He's got everything popping, and he's over here just, man, I'm so stressed, and I'm just like, what? But shout out to Don, man. I'm sure that we'll be playing since Pred was a piece of shit, and then abandoned my boy, and then Bot doing what he does. He doesn't really play games with nobody. So you know what I'm saying?
Where was K-Mega at that point in time?
I was watching Loki with my wife, and then my wife wanted to sit there and wanted to spend some time with me. So,
excuses.
Shit.
So what did you do those 5 minutes for?
What? What'd you say?
So what did you do those 5 minutes for?
It was multiple 5 minutes, brother. We were sitting here just chilling. We sitting here having a good time. Just. I mean, hey, we live like we 15. That's what we do. Anyway, so
got a game.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but I did that, and then when I came back, and then of course, you know what I'm saying, after that. After Loki, and then after kicking it, and then everything else, and then I watched, and then I seen the Hawks, and shout out to Trey Young, you know what I'm saying, Oklahoma's own Pride, you know what I'm saying, that's Oklahoma Pride, that man from Oklahoma. No, he's an Oklahoma boy, watch him out. He's from Oklahoma, born and raised, Norman, Oklahoma. That's it. That's just not too that is down the road from me. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds shittier than Connecticut.
How dare you?
Ain't nothing as shitty
with your crappy
regardless.
internet.
I know, right? But anyway, but the
Welcome to the Dev and Gamer podcast with K-Mega 405, the Don KTR.
That's right. We'll be back next week.
Texas, by the way.
Anyway, what'd you say? Say it again.
He's born in Lubbock, Texas, by the way.
He's born and raised. He's born and raised in Oklahoma. He's been raised.
And I'm waiting for it. Welcome to the GRG podcast.
I'm not going to do that, but the GRG podcast will be tomorrow night. We will have one of the lords coming on for the show. It's going to be fun, as usual. So get ready for a long ass podcast. Pretty much. I don't know.
I was going to say, is it one of the lords
it's going to be like a 4-hour podcast?
Or is it Gaming Addict?
No shit. Addict came, but it's not Addict. It's not Addict. So
shout out to Addict. Addict's my boy. Like, I've known him forever, man.
Addict's a fool, yeah. But you know what I'm saying. But no, but we'll have one of the lords coming on. And then after that, the guest that was supposed to come on last week, he couldn't make it, but he'll be back the week after. So that will be cool. And so and so if anybody knows who he is, he does. You'll know who he is just off the bat of He's been a former developer on working on Killzone. Let's just say that. So he'll be back. He'll be here the week after. So get ready to check out GRG. Also, I will be doing my giveaway. You can. It doesn't matter.
Chris Cornell.
Yes, Chris Cornell will be here next. Will be next week. So that will be fun. So I'll definitely enjoy that. Also, I will be giving away Scarlet Nexus. I will be doing that on Twitter. For anybody that's this is because I made the prediction that Scarlet Nexus was going to be on Game Pass day one. I said if I was wrong, I would give that game away. I was wrong, so I got to give the game away. So that's why we'll give it away. Doesn't matter if PlayStation, Xbox, PC. It'll be a digital code. Doesn't matter if you're overseas or whatever. For anybody who's following me on Twitter, you will definitely you will be up there, and I will just pick a random person. Doesn't matter. So if you want to kiss my ass, you can. I like that, but that doesn't mean that you can still get the game. But do appreciate all the support that I've been getting here lately. But I'm creeping up on you. I'm trying to get there. I still got a little ways, but I'm catching
guys,
you.
You got to share this channel out. I cannot let K Mega overtake me.
I'm gonna get him. I gotta get him.
We can't let this happen, guys, because I'll never hear the end of it, man.
Oh man, I'm on my quest. I gotta go. I got a main goal. If I get to that goal, then I want to talk some good shit. I normally am pretty humble, but I'm gonna talk some good shit if I get to my actual goal on YouTube. So, but thank you guys so much. Just come and check us out on GRG tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Lord's time, 9 p.m. Eastern, the Devil's time, and 6 p.m. Central. Who knows what the fuck is going on in that time? And for the great people overseas, 2 a.m. GMT. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Wow.
The longest fucking outro ever, dude.
You damn right.
Shout out to the Friendly Neighborhood Blue Shell. Okay. Shout out to the Friendly Neighborhood Blue Shell hitting up that super chat. It is good to see you here, brother. He says, out of this podcast, the panel, who is the best at Miss Pac-Man?
Probably me.
It's not me.
Of course, K Mega would say him.
Probably me. It is me.
I'm more of an original Pac-Man type of guy.
You could be me in that either.
I actually grew up on Miss Pac-Man, so I challenge you, sir.
We can do that. We can do that. We can do that.
You see what you did, Blue Shell?
I love that. I love that. Blue Shell is messy, but he's messy in the right way. I like that.
That is true gamer status right there. So we have a challenge going on between Crispy and K Mega. I definitely want to see where that goes.
Got to use those Miss Pac-Man superpowers, as I like to call them. You just float across. Use the hair clip, as I like to call it.
The hair clip, the bow. Yeah, I think that's just
it's a hair clip with a bow.
I think that's just a cross-dress Pac-Man. It's not really Miss Pac-Man. It's just he dresses up funny in the evenings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness!
You sound very dirty.
But, again, thank you guys for all the support. We will be back here next Thursday for the next podcast. Everybody, have a great night. I gotta go to bed.
Shout out to Curie. She's over here talking about I'm gonna slide over your way, trying to get that Scarlet Nexus. Listen to you.
I want that game too. If I can win it, dude, I can win that, right?
Do you follow me?
I follow you. I think on everything, man.
You gotta call me K Mega, aka Mr. Fisk, aka. And you gotta say it just like that.
No, I'm still in the running, guys.
His voice is not deep enough for that.
It's not. That's why he's out.
Yeah, I'll be breaking glasses if I try to do that.
To the cum zone.
Yo, thank you guys so much. We are out, people.
Oh, he's scared.
Welcome to the cum zone. Welcome.
The voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to next podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.